So I've been thinking lately about a bold, new controversial sandwich.
Okay.
And you know how sandwich names are very regional, where you go to one part of the country and you see a sandwich that's on a roll and it's stacked full of meats and veggies and stuff.
Right.
It might be a submarine.
Might be a grinder.
Might be a hero. Hoagie. Or the elusive hero sandwich. Mm-hmm. I have a concept for a sandwich I'm thinking of as the villain sandwich.
Okay.
Because for every hero, there needs to be an antithesis, a villain. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about a villain sandwich. Do you think this sounds like a good idea?
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's 2 slabs of meat with a piece of bread in between them.
I mean, I don't hate that idea.
It's a little more low carb friendly for you.
Right. And like, so would the meat be thicker? It's not like the thin slice.
No,
it's
very
thicker and maybe a thinner slice of bread.
It's like 2 pieces of prime rib.
Hell yeah.
With like
I'm
a piece of like
this.
Like Texas toast. Or actually, you know what? Let's go even less bread. Let's flip the proportions entirely. Mm-hmm. It's 2 pieces of prime rib with a tortilla in the middle.
Okay.
Because fuck bread.
Because fuck bread.
Welcome, dead and lovely listeners, to the Sandwich Hatinist and Lovinist podcast.
That's us.
In the multiverse that is known and unknown and beyond, and all kinds of other things.
In unknown parts of the universe, we're still the best.
Yeah, and they still know of us out there.
Oh, yeah.
Why, it's Dad and Lovely here with the host with the most. It is I, the one of what is known as Uncle Ben.
And I am also known as Uncle Ben.
Interesting.
Am I? No. It's Hollywood Steve.
Oh, that's it. It's you, Hollywood Steve.
It's me.
How you been doing this week here, Stu?
Really good, man.
Yeah?
I discovered something amazing.
Okay, tell me about it.
That I want to tell you guys all about. And it is that you can really add nice, crispy browned cheese to a number of dishes.
To just about anything. Yeah, that's right.
Here's a little thing to try.
Give me a sample. Give me a Susan of what you're doing with the crispy cheese.
Get your pan ready for your omelet. Have your omelet all ready to be poured in the pan.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Hit the pan first with your cheese. Let it get a little bit melty, start to brown, then put your egg on it.
Oh, yeah.
And when you close it, it's just this beautifully browned cheese.
Oh my God.
And it's got like so much more flavor.
It's fucking awesome. Are you doing that with a shred cheese or like a slice rig?
Shred, but you can do it with sliced, of course, if that's how you're going.
Honestly, I think a shred works better for that.
Yeah, because it leaves holes for the egg to get through.
Exactly, dude. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, because a lot of times when you put too much cheese in an omelet or a scramble, it kind of results in making the whole thing very slimy and loose.
Yeah, it's just kind of slimy, and then like some of it doesn't get as melted as the rest, and I want my cheese to be nice and melty. Here's something else I discovered after watching a burger video. Alan Kalin, who opened Egg Slut in Los Angeles. Egg Slut is gigantic in Los Angeles.
I love it already.
The egg sandwiches are amazing.
Holy shit.
But he also has a burger restaurant, and he has a burger show. And on one episode, they went to these Connecticut places, and one of the places when they make a grilled cheese, they take 4 slices of cheese and they put just the corners on the patty and the rest directly on the flat top.
What?
And then it gets browned and crisp.
Oh
and
my
they
God.
curl it up over the burger.
Oh my God, dude.
So I was making my wife a quesadilla to take to work, and I was like,
yep, I've done this with a quesadilla.
Just put it all the way to the edge. Put it all the way, just put it directly in the pan, let it get nice and crisp, and then curl it in. It's so good.
And you want to do a thin layer.
I didn't get to have it because it was on a tortilla, but it looked amazing.
And you want to do a thin layer of that cheese and stuff, too.
Yeah, what I did actually was 2 thin layers. I did a thin layer, and I did it on low temp, and did a thin layer, let it brown, folded that in, then put another layer down and folded it in.
Crispy brown cheese is actually the matter that holds the universe together.
It is.
I'm quite sure of it. Dude, all this food talk is getting real good to me right now because, this week, I haven't had time to cook almost anything. We have been in maximum moving overdrive.
Guys are fucking stressed. There's so much shit going on right now.
Goodness gracious, dude. Oh my gracious God. It is just
if it sounds
ridiculous.
more echoey this episode, that's not just that I'm not the best editor in the world. it's also because there's nothing in this room.
There's nothing here. I mean, you were here a week ago, and there was a lot more stuff in this
there's
fucking
art
house.
and guitars normally hanging on the walls.
Yeah, now there is nothing.
It's
It's
like
pure nihilism.
you're a
in this house.
minimalist, yeah.
And it's one of those deals where I'm getting so excited about moving to Knoxville and being closer to my friends and my bandmates and my bandmate friends and my podcast buddies and all this jazz. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And it also hit me this week that like this is the first time that any of my friends will have lived within like 40 minutes of me since college.
Wow.
Like my friends haven't lived near me since I was in college. Like after college,
everybody else went to Knoxville.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody either moved to Knoxville to go to college, which is 40 minutes from here at
That's
least.
why I moved to Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah, they either moved there for college or after college they moved.
Right.
I haven't lived near my friends in like a decade. It fucking sucks.
But you know how great your friends are that we will come down here. Because there's no other reason why
There's
we would
zero
come to
reason
Jefferson
why.
County.
No, absolutely not.
I come to see my family sometimes, but that is it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
There was no reason. Well, other than El Sazon, our Mexican restaurant.
is good.
You need to
It
come
is a
here
good
for
restaurant.
that. I still maintain best fajitas I've ever had in the country.
They have really
And
good
I've
stuff.
had a fajita about everywhere because I'm basic like that.
You are.
As we know.
We found out before this episode, Ben told me that he doesn't really like Mexican food.
That's true.
All he likes is
I'm
fajitas.
not proud of it. I'm not proud of that fact.
I like fajitas were the first thing I ever had, and that was at El Sazon.
Boom.
The first Mexican restaurant other than, Taco Bell or Taco John's.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I remember at the time, and now I never get it because it's almost like a flashy dish. Because they bring it in the sizzling pan and stuff.
You get all the attention. The whole restaurant goes,
and
what
I don't
did
want
he
that.
order?
I don't want that.
Dude, I want the fame. I want that fajita fame.
I like. There's a
Hashtag fajita famous.
hashtag fajita fame. There's a Mexican restaurant in Knoxville called Polancho's.
Yeah, Polancho's.
Next to Downtown West. That has a real creative menu. They have an aguacate relleno.
Look out.
Which is an avocado stuffed with cheese and deep fried.
Oh, I want to
And
get that in my
it's
face.
Amazing. They also have this thing called burritos Jeremias, which is bacon wrapped.
I've heard you talk about that. That
It's
sounds
really
crazy.
good.
Whoever Jeremy is, he's spoken.
He knows what's up.
and he loves bacon. Jeremy's bacon.
That place is pretty good. I got way too drunk there one time on accident. This was when I was in grad school.
Whoops, got drunk.
Well, this is what happened. I went to meet my wife and my mother-in-law at
This is
Polancho's.
an arranged marriage. It was like,
Yes.
meet your wife.
Yeah, they were like, you're meeting these two people today.
You're already married. You've not even met her yet.
No, I went to go meet them. It was Cinco de Mayo, and they were like, let's, get some Mexican food. And we went to Polancho's, which I like it. Che Guevara is really good too.
That's the side of cultural appropriation I'll gladly take.
Che Guevara?
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
Let's eat
100%.
Mexican food and margaritas.
Yeah, same with St. Patrick's Day. Let's get drunk.
Let's get fucked up. Yeah.
But I went to meet them, and they had 32-ounce beers for like $5 or something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got a 32-ounce Dos Equis Amber,
Strong move.
and I had that thing down pretty quick because I was really thirsty.
It's an easy drinker.
My wife and my mother-in-law hadn't got there yet. The guy comes back. He's like, "You want another?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have one so I can have one for the rest of the meal." So I'm drinking it, and my wife gets there, and she's like, "Let's order margaritas."
Plural. Margaritas.
So we order a pitcher of strawberry margaritas, and this is when my wife had first started drinking. She took one drink of them and was like, "No,
Not for me.
not for me. Too alcoholic."
All for you.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
ended up
Jesus
then
Christ.
after slamming two 32-ounce Dos Equis Ambers, drinking a pitcher of margaritas.
Woof.
And, oh my gosh, I had to pee so bad on the drive back home, and I was very like tipsy at this point.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, "Well, we can't like go into a gas station because you're too drunk."
To expel your 100 ounces of liquid that are in
so
your
she
bladder.
was like, "Just pee in a bottle or something."
Trucker bomb.
We were on the way home, and I felt like I was gonna explode.
You need like a gallon jug at that point.
Yeah, and I pull out this bottle, and I am so pee shy. My wife has seen my penis numerous times, but still cannot pee next to my
Really?
wife in a moving car. So
Okay, I say
it
that,
feels
but
like-
I've never peed in front of Kate in a moving car. At home, many times.
I pee in front of my wife at home, but in a moving
It might be
car,
different in a car. Yeah, it might be different.
And even though it felt like my bladder was going to explode, I could not force anything out.
Oh, my
so
God.
there was another 10 miles of driving before I finally got to pee, and I just ran into the house drunkenly. Oh, my gosh. And I think I ended up talking a lot, but the other two people with me were not drunk.
Oh, my God.
So I embarrassed myself in front of my mother-in-law.
Hey, Steve, I'll drink to that.
Hell yeah.
I'll drink to that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a pull in memory of your good time at that Mexican. Which one do you want to start with here?
Okay, so Ben, I flipped the script on you this week.
Yeah,
you told
did.
me to pick up some beers, and I was looking at the beers for stuff I had never seen, and I saw two things that I've never had that are both 3 carbs apiece.
Whose house? Steve's house.
We got right here, we're going to start with the Slightly Mighty low-cal IPA by Dogfish Head. Now,
I like a Dogfish Head.
Dogfish Head. These are low carb, but they're also low alcohol. They're only 4%.
Okay.
So that's not bad. 4%.
That's fine, man. This low-cal IPA is brewed with mighty aromatic hop varieties that deliver tropical notes with a slightly sweet balance provided by the monk fruit extract. They put the fruit of a monk in this thing?
Monk fruit extract.
Clap, clap, clap. I wonder what this is about. I'm looking forward to trying this.
Yeah, me too. I'm interested. I did not know that these beers existed. I could have had a beer every once in a while.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's not very many carbs or anything at all.
Yeah.
Let's dink this thing and sink this thing here, as they would say on a good mythical.
Okay. It's real light in flavor, but it does have a good IPA like citrus to it.
This is one of those ones, I'm going to say a meal-friendly IPA.
Yeah. Yeah, you could... That's perfect.
You know?
Because
It's a
it
meal-friendly
just sort of
IPA.
washes it down. It kind of gives you a palate cleanse.
Totally.
Go on to the next bite.
Up front, it's got a little bit of that Lagunitas thing that I love so much.
Ooh.
The aftertaste is surprisingly Pilsner-y.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty good.
The
man.
aftertaste to me tastes kind of like a High Life or something like that.
Well,
I'm very
go,
okay with this,
Dogfish
dude.
Head.
This is one of those ones that, like, you know, this is a perfect hot day, sit on the porch kind of beer, you
Yes.
know? Well, you don't want to have one of those big old fucking 10%ers or something out there. But if you want some good IPA flavor, it's a pretty good way to do it. I like a Dogfish Head, man. I'm a fan.
I do too. So, way to go, Dogfish
Way to
Head, on
go.
making a good low-calorie IPA somehow.
Dude, we're going to get just emaciated as fuck drinking this beer. We're going to be so thin. We're going to turn
I'm-
invisible when we stand sideways.
Just update, just to brag some more. I'm halfway to my weight loss goal.
You've done it. You have done it.
Yep, 40. I'm 45 pounds down. I got 45 to go.
Man, alive. That's
Where are they
awesome.
going?
Yeah, really, where are they going?
I don't know.
I've had this idea for a long time that I really wish I could execute or put into, like, maybe even just a nice basic animation form or something like that. But, you know, we learned in science class that fat is stored energy in the body,
Yes.
right? I've had this idea for a long time that it'd be so awesome if you could just, like, hunch down and do the most, like, incredible, like, jump, like, 300 feet in the
Yeah,
air.
just using all your fat at once.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm going to use up all my energy. There's like a rocket trail going up behind you. You're just like, ah, and you jump, you know, and you
That'd
come
be
down and your
amazing.
clothes are all baggy and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, I just
Hey
used up my
guys,
stored energy.
lost weight. The only negative to that would be you'd have a whole lot of flappy skin.
There'd be a lot of... Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. Parachute for the way down.
Hey, all right.
You spread
just
it.
use it
You're like
like
one of
a
those like flying squirrels. You just kind of like glide down. Somebody please. I know we have a lot of artists that listen to the show. Somebody please animate that.
Yeah.
You know, or make like a 4-panel comic
I
or
would love
something.
to
Like
see
I just want to see it. Tag that shit. Trademark Dead and Lovely. Dude, it has just been a heinously, unbelievably busy week. Like I
Yeah.
said, trying to get the move going and all that jazz. It has just been ridiculous. And I've got some very big, high-profile, awesome gigs coming up.
Yes, you do.
Tomorrow, I leave for this great Telecaster invitational twanging awesome
Right.
guitar fest thing in Nashville, and I'm playing with Andy Wood. Then the day after that in Knoxville, I'm playing bass with Andy Wood, bass with the phenomenal Andy Timmons, who's been a lifelong idol of mine. And also Kingfish is playing that show. Amazing
Right.
blues player. Great stuff. And then the next week we leave for Cartagena Guitar Festival in Colombia in South America. Pure madness on top of trying to move and sell my house.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's been a lot going on.
Plus, some asshole keeps making you record podcast episodes.
You know what? He's a real slave driver. He's just cracking that whip above my head, making me do a podcast. Honestly, it's the kind of thing, man, where like the little tiny traces of like normal life that I have right now, when like I get to sit down with a student, or like today I had a rehearsal and now I'm doing a podcast. It's just like, oh my God, normal life. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's better than dealing with the moving.
Oh my God.
The stress of,
Movie's the fucking worst. It is the worst.
It is. I've done it a ton in my life, and I don't recommend it to anybody.
My God.
Certainly a big stress for a couple, and I imagine if you have kids.
I don't know how people do it. I mean, that's the thing, dude. We're doing this, and it's just the two of us and our dog, and, you know, our busy schedules, because we both work all the time and shit anyway. And I'm like, how do people do this plus, like, feed children?
I don't know.
I mean, if your children are like teenagers or whatever, then it's like, cool, go pack your room up, you little shit. Pack some boxes, whatever.
Yeah. You little shit. You gotta throw that in there. You gotta keep your teenagers on their toes.
Keep them level. Keep them leveled out. But, you know, it's like if you're dealing with like infants or toddlers, God forbid toddlers, while you're trying to move.
I can't imagine.
That's a world of pain.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I thought that last week, whenever we recorded the Poltergeist episode, I thought that I was like at a level of exhaustion that I didn't know existed. I am so far beyond that. I was a sweet summer child. Like every day, every fucking day has just been 24/7 packed.
Wait until we record last week's episode. That's why we're recording from the future.
That's
or
right.
the past.
Our timeline's all kinds of convoluted now.
For some reason, we're recording our Zombieland episode today, and the episode you heard last week, Adam's Family, we were recording in the future.
Yeah. Future. There's always an echo when you're talking about future stuff for some reason. Yeah, it's been crazy. So that has kind of prevented me from like watching a lot of stuff.
I get it.
The only thing that we really watched is like basically every night when we're like, let's spend about 15 minutes on the couch getting fucked up so we can sleep real good.
Yeah.
We've been watching like Key and Peele sketches on YouTube.
Awesome.
Which, dude,
always a good decision.
They're just phenomenal.
They really
are unfucking believably funny. Like, there's so much that I haven't watched. I finally watched the Gremlins 2 skit.
It's one of the best skits ever.
It's hysterical.
What is it called?
Sketch comedy show.
show.
Yeah.
Lost all knowledge of English for a moment.
Dude, we watched that one. All the ones with like the church ladies.
Yeah.
Unreal. Dude, I watched the one the other night. I about fucking died laughing. The one where the guy like calls in to order the pizza.
Yes. Wendell. Dude, in that sketch, craziest thing ever, in that sketch, in the background, Pepe the Frog. This was before the alt-right adopted Pepe the Frog, and it was just like a normal internet comic that people knew.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy that did that, because he was not associated with the alt-right movement at all. Mm-mm. They just stole his property and made it theirs.
Yeah. But dude, what's blown me away about it is as I watch through these, I'm seeing these, and obviously like I'm dying laughing, cracking up at this stuff. But also I'm really seeing like why Jordan Peele is so incredible at writing horror. Because so many of
many of them are like that. Yeah, they're horror based.
Well, and it's all about subversing your expectations of what the skit's going to be about.
Right.
It's like when it starts, you're like, oh, okay, I know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, no. It takes a U-turn somewhere and just completely goes somewhere else than what you're thinking. Like the pizza one, you're like, oh, it's about this guy who's just like a slob who's ordering 3 pizzas for himself saying he's having a party. But then no, it turns out that the pizza guy wants to talk to this fake girl that he's created on the other end of the line. Like he's so good about setting something up that you think you know where it's going.
Yeah, but it goes a different direction.
Completely different direction. Yeah. So it's like that works in humor and in horror both.
Right. I mean, it's the same with the teacher skit. The normal situation would be the substitute teacher who pronounces all the white kids' names wrong.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't?
No, it sounds amazing.
You done messed up, Aaron.
AA.
D-nice.
Denise. D-nice.
The expectation when you have a classroom full of kids and a substitute teacher is that the kids are going to be clowning the teacher.
Yeah.
But it's the teacher clowning the kids. Like he completely goes the opposite way. They're masters at that. They both worked on Mad TV for a while before, finally getting their own show.
Yeah.
And they're just they work together so perfectly, and they know like, of course Jordan Peele is an amazing writer. We've seen it from other stuff he's done, but like taking that into sketch comedy, like 3-minute chunks, of course you're gonna come out with great shit.
Fucking fantastic. I've been enjoying watching that stuff as kind of my wind down after a night of packing boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have been listening to a lot of stuff lately.
Oh yeah.
And I'll touch on the first one here that's horror related, since I know we are a horror show.
That is true.
And people tune in for the horror.
Yeah.
Quick side note about the way I'm saying horror.
Tell me about it.
There's another little thing that we watched, and this is going to appeal to our UK listeners. I know you guys are out there. Mm-hmm. You damn redcoats.
Mm-hmm. Big Ben.
He's out there listening.
We're in a spot of bother, etc.
All those things. Hooligans. A lot of hooligans listening to the show.
Brexit. We want out. No, we don't. I don't know.
I'm Boris. I have a dumb haircut.
I just know that the Scottish can't make any choices.
Yeah, it seems that way.
They're ours.
Yeah, that's the impression that I get.
Mm-hmm. The impression that I get. Let's just make fun of everybody.
More Boston's. Yeah, everybody. Everybody's getting made fun of. Fuck everybody. So we watched this BuzzFeed video or something where there was this like vocal dialect coach that was trying to guess who in this lineup is actually an English speaker as their native language and who is like from somewhere out of the country that's speaking English.
Okay.
And one of the ways that he deduced who was the phony in the bunch that was from somewhere else and faking an English accent, American English accent, is to say the word horror story.
Huh.
Okay, because apparently, and again, this is something I was completely unaware of, but I think is very fascinating. In American English, like say the word horror.
Horror.
So whenever you have a vowel in the letter R, it affects the way the vowel sounds.
Yes.
So with ours, the O-R ends up as this smear, horror.
Yeah,
like the
horror.
O and the R are one thing.
Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In British English, they're separated. Horror.
Horror.
Story. Like
horror.
When you say story.
Story.
Story. Yeah. Like or, you get this sound, just
story.
the O and the R
story.
blended together, right?
Yeah.
That's from
story.
Maine. That's from Maine or something. Story.
Let me tell you a story.
Story. I'll go on that road. I'll tell you a story. But yeah, that's apparently a thing.
Okay.
I did not know about that.
I didn't either.
So now when we do our accents,
now
we
we'll
have
be
to
able
say,
to find out who the foreigners are.
That's horror, isn't it?
That's horror, isn't it?
Now we're more accurate.
All right. That makes sense.
Okay, so back to
now we sound very much like British people.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
We are straight.
Unmistakably.
I was born under Big Ben. You were born in Buckingham Palace. That's how British we are.
Oh, yeah. I had baked beans and toast for breakfast today.
Yeah.
That's
Heinz.
how gross I am.
Heinz baked beans
Disgusting.
and toast. No other is acceptable.
Awful tradition. That must be horrible.
Actually, I'd be all about that. It sounds pretty good. I like beans
Start
and I
the
like
day
toast.
with a baked bean? That's a hard pass.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You be that way.
Yeah.
You be wrong about things, I guess. So I finished listening to the audiobook of It.
Finally.
Over the past couple episodes, I've been saying I've been listening through it because I've been packing and repairing the house and shit 16 hours a day. I managed to blow through the entire book pretty fucking fast. And it's okay.
Yes,
I think I'll say
accurate.
It's better than I thought that it would be. You know, just based on what I'd seen from both movies. And I really wanted to have the time to do like just a full mini episode, like half an hour of just me talking about it. Clearly, I just don't have time to do that.
Yeah, that would be insane.
But that's something that I would love to do in the future. I'd love to do little audiobook reviews.
You can record it while you're taking a shit or something.
Yeah. Some great ambiance in the background.
Yeah. Multitask.
Multitask. Yeah, that's right. That's what you got to do these days. So I feel like there is just so much information in there that it's great.
Yeah.
Like you really feel like you know the characters after you spent 40 something hours of audiobook with them. You know, I mean, you kind of can't not feel like you know the characters by then.
If you don't know the characters by then, this is a terrible writer.
Exactly. Yeah. And clearly Stephen King is not a terrible writer.
Yeah.
I will say that it does kind of maintain some of those Stephen King complaints we talked about in the past. Great male characters, pretty thin female characters.
Yeah.
Overall, you know. And I gotta say, there's some things that happen in the book that I don't think either of our film adaptations have really captured very well.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great spooky stuff where the kids see the clown in his various different forms, like the mummy and stuff that are really cool. Of course, you'd have to modernize that or update that to make it relevant.
The mummy, like, I believe there was a flash moment in the end of it, chapter 1, whenever he's like changing into different things. He changes into the mummy for just a brief second, I believe.
Yeah, there's like a just kind of like a bandage cover hand or some shit like that. Yeah, which is pretty cool. The whole final confrontation with it has not been done well in either one of them. But honestly, with the whole like ritual of Chud and the battle of wills and stuff like that, where it takes place in like the entire eternity of the universe and shit, you can't really do that in film.
How do you show that?
You really can't, you know?
You could do it in a video game really well, I bet.
Probably.
They should make an It video game.
Yeah, no doubt.
That'd be... now that I'm thinking about it, if there was an open world Stephen King video game that was just set in Stephen King's Maine, and you could go...
Dude, that could be sick.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Trademark Dead and Lovely? Can we trademark somebody else's stuff?
I don't know. For a video game that we can't make?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out. Couldn't hurt.
We're the two guys to make a video game. No experience programming games.
Nothing.
No idea how you would even do that. We do not own the rights to any of
Trademark Dead and Lovely, though. We're locking it down. We're locking it down.
You owe us money.
That's right. So yeah, there's things that I don't think either adaptation has gotten right. I honestly think the story works better when it is this constant back and forth and blending of the young timeline and the old timeline, rather than trying to separate them as both film adaptations have. Like, basically at the end of the book, you have them fighting it as kids and as adults the same way. And, I'm sorry, at the same time. And it makes sense because they can't remember how they beat him the first time and stuff.
Right. So instead of revealing all that earlier on, it's being revealed simultaneously.
Yeah. And that's how the whole book is. Like, their whole past as children is being revealed through their adult lives because they're progressively remembering more and more.
And it works as a book, but if you were making 2 movies of it...
It might get really strenuous.
Because what would be the ending of the first movie?
Right, that's the thing, you know? The apocalyptic rock fight. Yeah. It's like, that wouldn't really be a good ending, you know? I'll say, now that I've read the book, that the new film adaptation completely butt-fucked the character of Mike. What the fuck? How did they read the book and decide to treat Mike that way?
I don't know.
I don't even remotely understand.
Yeah.
Like, in the first movie when they were kids, he was just this trivial, I don't even know why he's here. He felt like a token tacked on black character to me. Yes, he did. Where it's like, we're required to have a black kid be friends with these kids, so here's Mike.
Right.
Completely unimportant. They destroyed his storyline. He had this great relationship with his dad and stuff. Kate talked about that on the It Part 2 episode. And then in It Part 2, it's just like, I don't know, he's crazy and he steals from Indians, which weren't even in the book.
Yeah.
He drugs his friend and then lies about how they beat it. Like, what the... How do you get that out of fucking Mike from the book?
I don't know. They really... They neutered him completely in the first part, and then they had to give him something to do in the second part, and they were like, well, I guess some insane crazy shit, probably, right?
I guess. It makes no sense whatsoever, man. Yeah, so that kind of fucked that stuff up. The whole child running a train on Bev scene, I have to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, the child, they all have sex with Bev, which is at her insistence, and some of them don't want to do it. And
dude, I don't even remotely understand.
And why it would even be a thing they would do.
No, because basically, like, the situation is they've just defeated it when they're kids. They're trying to get out of the sewer system, and they're, like, all lost. Like, I can't remember how to get out of here. And Bev's like, I know what'll help. Everybody have sex with me. Which, for one, doesn't make any sense.
No.
They all do it, and then they don't really say anything about it, and they're just like, oh, I guess we should have gone left back there, and they just figure it out. It's one of those things, man, that I know that Stephen King has gone back and said, yo, guys, I was on fucking the
Mega
yayo
drugs.
24/7
Yeah.
back then. I regret putting that in the book. But dude, how is there not somebody in the publishing company that went, maybe not this?
I think he was just at that point where he was on fire, and it was the same thing with J.K. Rowling in the 5th book.
Yeah.
Where she has said she wished her editor would have stepped in.
Yeah, it's like fucking 1,800 pages of emo
it's
Harry.
a little too long, and yeah, so like you get successful enough, your editor's like, well, I don't want to question them.
This is Stephen fucking King.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is, man.
Yeah,
It
because
honestly
it seems like anybody would have just been like, nah, that doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make any sense.
And so why do
No.
it? Because it's weird.
And dude, it is like at the end of the book. It's like during when all the fights across the two different timelines against it are happening, and then you get treated to this like one chapter
Raw dog, 12-on-1 gangbang.
But dude, just reading these graphic descriptions, it's like, okay, so this is just child porn in this book.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it doesn't really serve much of a purpose.
Now that we have done, we did the It miniseries, then we did It Chapter 1, and we did It Chapter 2 minisode. I believe we've talked about this scene in
all of them,
all of those episodes.
But now I know.
Now you know it deeply and truly why it's so weird and fucked up. But that's the thing about, well, I mean, I guess George Lucas figured out a way to go and change the past about his creative endeavors. But most creative endeavors, it's like once it's out there, and it doesn't matter. Like you can't change anything. You could go back in and take that out and have a revised edition if you want, but it doesn't take away the fact that it already exists that way.
Yeah. It just really honestly made me think about what a different fucking time the 80s were.
Yeah.
Because clearly everybody was on fucking cocaine.
Yeah.
Because
that's why food was so bad, because nobody was eating.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to eat. Just do
look at food in the 60s, 70s, and
Disgusting.
80s. Actually, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, because everybody was either on trucker speed, actual meth, getting that from their doctors, or cocaine. Everybody was on some major stimulant. Of course they weren't eating. Yeah, let's put hot dogs in gelatin.
That makes sense.
Deviled eggs and hot dogs and gelatin with some pineapple. Okay, sounds great.
That whole gelatin phase of like the 50s and 60s was abhorrent to me.
Yeah.
You know? But I just got to thinking about it. It's like, imagine any other contemporary writer, like again, J.K. Rowling is the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah,
where
if
it's
there
like
had been a wizard sex scene like we talk about in every Harry Potter episode,
like we talk about all the time. Yeah, but imagine it was actually in the book. This like graphic description.
If Hermione was like, "Oh, I know how to destroy the Horcruxes. I have to have sex with both of you."
Both? I mean, that's undercutting it.
That is undercutting it. Like
the entire boys' dorm in Gryffindor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like if that was in one of her books, people would be like, she's lost her fucking mind.
Yeah.
She's lost her mind. But back then, this was like part of the book, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that a white man wrote something and got away with it in the 80s is blowing your mind.
Shocking. Shocking. I cannot come to grips with this notion, Steve.
A scene where a bunch of white boys get some poontang. Boys will be boys.
I refuse to believe that this was okay at the time.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but it was still just like not enough people raised a stink back then.
It's true.
Because it took a lot of effort. Now all you had to do is go on Facebook and be like, y'all been reading this shit?
There be kids fucking in this book.
Kids be fucking.
Also, wasn't anticipating how many times the N-bomb is in that story. Woo! Man, you want to talk about some stuff that like people don't really bring enough attention to. It's like, oh, stuff that got omitted from the book. They left out that child fucking scene. They also left out so much racist stuff.
Yeah, they brought back more of the racism for the remake than the original miniseries. Because definitely, like, they're picking on Mike because he's black. And they say, like, we don't want your kind in our town and all that stuff. But never dropped the N-word.
Ooh,
which
man.
they would have.
It's all over the book. And it's not only just like the Bowers people picking on Mike's family. It's like...
Right, everybody.
One of Richie's little impressions that he has is like of an old-timey well, it's Inward Jim is this character's name.
No.
And he does this character to like impress and amuse his friends all the time. And it's just like,
and they're all like, ha, ha, ha,
woo, man.
all black people are the same.
I guess so. Dude, it's fucked up. It's like, why is this here? And again, like, this was getting green flags the whole time.
Yeah, just go for it, Stephen King.
Yeah. And
You're
this is like
doing it.
around the time that we were both born.
Yes.
It makes me maybe think the world has changed for the better a little.
I would say if you pay any attention to the arguments going on in the stand-up comedy world, what you'll find is no, nothing's really
Probably
changed.
not. Yeah, probably not.
There are a large number of very popular comedians being like, why can't I say that word?
They say it.
Yeah.
Ugh. People are dumb.
Yeah.
People be dumb.
People be dumb.
But overall, I enjoyed the book. I think that if I wasn't doing these like marathon listening sessions like I have been, and if I was doing my usual audiobook thing, which is like, you know, I'll listen to half an hour of this every other day.
Yeah.
It would have taken me like an entire year to get through this. Yeah, and I probably would have gotten sick of it.
It's taken you a while.
A couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks. Because it's like 40-something hours a book. But by doing it with this marathon session thing like I have, I've ended up enjoying it pretty well. But I think that you kind of need to do it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say that's true. Yeah, the expectation, I think, with books would be that you don't want to put it down. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's how it is with Harry Potter. Like, you just don't want to put it down. You keep reading, and then you kind of have to make yourself put it down. And then when you come back, you're like, where was I? Like, what was just happening? Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like when you're like playing an RPG and then you put it down for a couple months and you come back and you're like, what's the fucking battle system?
Right.
What is this? Where am I? Am I trying to get the blacksmith his mule back? What am I doing?
Blacksmith's always losing a mule.
Losing them mules.
Always.
Damn it. I've also been, and this is an audio music listening, as you usually listen to music in the audio form.
Truly.
This isn't a sheet music recommendation.
Okay, no, I do a lot of music reading. I'm like,
check out this. Look at this amateur hour. Look at these semi-quavers.
There. What?
I'm intrigued.
I don't know what that means.
It works. You go with it.
Okay.
I'm going to bring this up because a couple weeks ago I mentioned Big Wreck on an episode, and a lot of our listeners are like, dude, either
Big
like,
Wreck.
hell yeah, Big Wreck's awesome, or I'd never heard this band before and they're amazing. I've been listening through the new Car-Bomb album, Mordial.
And you've recommended them in the past.
Yes, I have. And dude, the new record, I put up like a little meme that I made of it the other day on the Instagram with the Babadook and shit. The new album is fucking phenomenal. It is some of the most frantic,
check this out.
Chaotic, intense, ferocious music I think that I've ever heard. It's phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Really loving the new album.
Gotta check that out at the gym sometime.
I would say it's great for getting shredded and throwing some iron around. I'm gonna say it's absolutely not for everybody. Like, if I meet people that are like, I don't like that Car-Bomb, I'd be like, I completely understand that. It is irrationally intense and chaotic and crazy. But for me, dude, like, I love what that band is doing so much. It's somehow both incredibly intricate and complicated and complex without sounding, if this makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't sound pretentious or premeditated or practiced.
Right.
Like, sometimes when I hear a lot of these like newer, really technical gent bands or whatever, and they play these crazy complicated riffs, I listen to it and I go, wow, man, you fucking practiced the shit out of that riff, didn't you? And it just sounds lame. Like, heavy stuff needs to sound out of control.
Right. I agree with that 100%. You know?
And sometimes when you have these riffs that are so complicated that it just sounds like, I can see you fucking pushing your glasses up on your nose and practicing this riff. Like, I can hear it in the
like
riff.
my book rant during Poltergeist.
Dude, it's like that.
Yeah,
it is like that.
When you know it from the inside, it's like, oh, you're just fucking being pretentious. Like,
exactly. But the way that Car-Bomb does stuff, it's more complicated than Meshuggah at times.
Wow.
It's nuts.
All right.
But it just sounds like pure chaos and entropy more than it sounds like we wrote this down on paper so we could figure out how to play it. Like, it doesn't sound nerdy at all. I adore this band.
Awesome.
Fucking check out Mordial. It's streaming everywhere.
Gotta go check that out for sure.
You gots to. Steve, what have you been up to this week? You been watching anything?
I sure did. I watched the The Creepshow on Shudder.
Oh, the TV series.
The TV series, yeah. We're recording these well ahead of time. A little out of order, yeah. A little out of order because Ben, of course, is very busy. Creepshow, I've only seen the first episode. It's all they've released thus far.
All right.
There are 2 segments in it, and the first segment was heavy on Easter eggs.
Half-hour show or hour-long show?
I believe it was 45 minutes,
okay.
which that is an hour-long show if it's on broadcast TV. They put 15 minutes of commercials in.
Yeah. So you're getting about 20 minutes per sketch.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one was heavy on Stephen King Easter eggs.
Okay.
And really felt like a Stephen King story. Really Stephen King-y to me. The second one, I loved.
Yeah?
I thought it was so great. The ending wasn't amazing, but it was out of the ordinary. Not that, I mean, definitely if you've read a lot of Stephen King short stories, you know he can cover a ton of different areas. And it's not out of the ordinary for his stuff, but it's out of the ordinary for his stuff that's been adapted.
Yeah. So is he like writing these? I'm in the dark about all this stuff.
I don't know if he wrote all of them or what's going on.
Or if it just feels very Kingy.
It just feels Kingy. But that's the thing is the second one, it felt Kingy, but it had its own twist.
Okay.
So I don't know who's right. I know they're, having different directors come in, but I don't know who's writing them all. I wonder if they're adapted Stephen King stories or if they're just anthology ideas.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Any callbacks to Creepshow 1 or 2?
Yes.
Yeah?
A lot.
Oh, don't spoil it for me, but I am excited. Will I like it?
I will say, yeah, you will like it.
Okay, tight.
It's a fun show. But Adrienne Barbeau is in it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she drinking whiskey and milk again?
I wasn't paying attention to what she was drinking. But because there were so many Easter eggs in that first one, like everything I was looking at, I was like, oh, that's from that. That's from that. There's like Cujo Easter eggs and Creepshow and Pet Cemetery. All sorts of stuff is in there. It's really interesting.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're gonna watch the rest of it?
It's I'll definitely. I would definitely watch it, even if the first episode wasn't good, because the anthology series, like, you got different people working on different stuff. One segment could be good, the other segment might be bad. The whole show might be bad, but that's very unlikely.
Okay, cool, man. I'll have to check that out, dude. We've got a little like house sitting weekend coming up here for some friends, which is going to be like right after our house gets its photos taken and gets put on the market and shit. Then we're basically going to this really nice place and house sitting for the weekend. I'm looking forward to like doing literally nothing and just watching all this shit.
Why don't they call it house staying?
It's
every
more
time
like a
I've house
stay.
sat,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, I stayed in your house and make sure like on the off chance that it just catches on fire, that the whole thing doesn't burn down.
More of a house
stay. Yeah.
It's more like that. Okay, cool. So I'll check that out. Anything else I should be watching?
Yes, there is. Always Sunny, season 14. The first episode was genius.
No shit.
It was so good.
How does that show keep getting better? I don't understand.
Every season, after 14 seasons, I do not know how they do it, but they nailed it. It's so good. It's just based on rom-com tropes and stuff. And they really do a lot of fun stuff with it. It's really funny.
I gotta watch that, man.
Other than that, Friday night, we had that old streaming chat.
Oh, yeah, that's right, man. While I was packing boxes, you guys were packing in the laughs and packing in some alcohol into your bodies. Did you watch anything good?
No.
Sick. Like usual.
Didn't.
Cool.
We watched Galaxy Invader.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. I don't know.
It sounds like it might be a sci-fi.
It was a horror, though. And there was like this... Okay, now I am remembering.
Horror.
There's like this Skeletor swamp thing mix.
I like that.
And it was an alien creature, but it wasn't the villain. The villain was the townspeople. It was hard to follow.
Okay.
It was very bad.
All right.
And then, in honor of Sid Haig, who at the time we're recording recently passed, we watched a movie called Galaxy of Terror, which is basically an Alien ripoff done by Roger Corman.
Oh, it's a Corman movie. Yeah. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's bad.
How was Sid Haig?
He, I think, spoke twice.
Oh, wow.
But he's in the entire movie, like, a lot. So he's supposed to be like the strong, silent type, like the what's going through his mind.
Emphasis on the silent part.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, somebody asked at one point, like, does Sid Haig not speak English? Like, was there a time where he didn't speak English?
Yeah.
No, they just had him not talk.
All right, that's a choice to make.
It is our choice.
Huh.
It was bad. It also was not a good movie, surprisingly.
Okay. All right, then.
But it was a fun night. I had fun.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
I like to have a good time all the time.
Ben, let me tell you a little story about when I picked up these beers.
Okay, at the Ciudad del Comida.
Yeah, Ciudad
City.
de Comida. Ciudad, not Ciudad.
Ciudad.
Yeah, Ciudad would be
That's
down.
right. That's what I said.
So at Food City, I bought these beers, and apparently there's a lady there who does not like selling alcohol.
Oh
And
my God, I
she
know
makes it
exactly what
very
you're talking
clear
about.
with her face. And
Dude,
her
this lady
manners.
sucks. This lady sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like,
So
let me just to give a little background about this lady.
mm-hmm.
Here in Jefferson County, it was only like a year or two ago that we even got the ability to sell wine in grocery stores.
Yeah, well, it was actually pretty recent in Knoxville too.
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
the big city here didn't sell wine, and
Right, only at liquor stores.
Yeah.
And so here in small town Jefferson County, right whenever they enacted the law that allowed you to buy wine and stuff at the grocery store, like I went through this lady's line with like a bottle of wine, and she was like, "You're gonna need your ID to buy your liquor." And I was like, it's just wine. She's like, "It's all the same to me." Church lady.
yeah, she kind of looks like church lady too.
Yeah, she's really like, imagine if Carrie, instead of like going out with her friends and blowing up her high school and stuff, if she just would have like hung out with her mom her whole life and then worked at Food City.
That's how she would be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically her.
So as she was sneering at my beer that she was drinking up,
A sneer at my beer.
so she does that, and then she's handing me back my stuff, and she says, "You have a blessed day."
Oh, she always says that shit.
And then she said something that I heard as, "Go warn them."
Oh God.
And I was like, "Wait, what?"
What?
And I'm
You're like, should I
walking
call
about
the
it because I
cops?
was like, did she know we're recording a podcast about Zombieland? Does she know zombies are about to like attack?
Does she know I hang out with that guy that buys wine?
She wanted me to warn them?
Go warn them. That is an ominous thing to fucking say.
And then like I thought through it again, and I realized she said go orange.
oh, like UT.
Like UT.
Football.
The University of Tennessee.
Go orange. Go warn them.
Go warn them.
Especially coming from her, that would be
Yeah, after
extremely
the
unnerving.
blessed day part, I was like, "Oh shit, is this like religious cult shit?" Like
I think I actually-
she's subverting, like she's doing some subconscious stuff, driving that into my head, and then I'm gonna start telling people like, "Don't drink. Jesus doesn't want you to drink.
Get out of that Food City."
That
think
Food
that
City's haunted."
I might actually start doing that with people and being like, "Go warn them," and they're like, "What? Go orange."
Yeah,
I was talking about football. What do you think I said?
and then you look at him and wink, give him a little.
Yeah. Shh, it's our secret.
It's our secret.
That's creepy.
Keep it secret. Keep it
Keep it safe. My God, man. Oh, my Lord
Yeah,
of
it
mercy.
was very weird. I felt very odd walking out.
Yeah,
Just
I think I
thinking
would've
about
too.
that. Like, what could she mean? What am I supposed to? What is the message? Go orange, I guess.
Steve, when you were in that Food City, did you happen to buy yourself any Twinkies?
I did not.
Passed up on the Twinkie,
I
huh?
bought a rotisserie chicken and ate a bunch of it when I got here. I was very hungry. I hadn't eaten anything.
It's a quality choice. It definitely
Yeah.
has less carbs and more protein and more healthy fats than a Twinkie does.
Yeah, so you can eat an entire rotisserie chicken in a day, and you will still need to supplement your calories to get to 1,500.
That's wild. That's one of those things, man, that like, you know, and I never really do fast food like at all unless I'm like on the road or whatever. But most all the fast food places now like put calorie counts on the menu.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It is nuts.
And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, when you go to like Hardee's or whatever and you see meals that have 1,500 calories.
Yeah, that's how much I'm supposed to eat in a day.
And then like people will eat that.
That's a meal for a person, yeah.
Yeah, and then eat another meal like that later in the day, and God knows whatever they had for breakfast and how many Cokes they had in between.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. It's crazy when you're like, you could eat a whole rotisserie chicken, an entire living bird,
and I do that
and have
on
less
a regular
calories
occasion.
than that. That's crazy to me, man.
I mean, yeah. When I on
What
days
are they
when I
putting in this
eat
food?
the whole rotisserie chicken, I tend to only eat like some broccoli or something other than that, and I'm full the whole day.
God, yes. If you ate a whole chicken,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Holy shit.
it's good to learn. I am going to be excited in about 3 or 4 months when I've hit my goal weight.
Yeah.
And I sit down to an entire Wise Guys pizza. Wise Guys is my favorite pizza in Knoxville. And I will eat an entire pizza on the day that I hit my weight goal because I miss it so much.
Yeah.
But then I'll have to go back to just not eating many carbs.
Oh, the pizza.
I mean, it's so good, but I feel better every day.
yeah.
Like I don't know how to convince future Steve that, hey, you shouldn't go back to eating a ton of carbs.
Yeah.
once
This
you get
feels better, actually.
because
Yeah.
you do actually feel a lot better. I just don't feel as old anymore, and I'm only halfway to where I'm going.
Yeah.
I feel a lot younger. I feel like I have a lot more energy.
Damn.
My sleep schedule is much more normalized for me. I mean, I'm still going to bed at like 6 a.m, but like I'm getting the same amount of sleep every day.
All right.
Instead of having days where I get like 4 hours and then another day where I'll get 12.
Woof.
Those are the worst.
That ain't no way to live. Ain't no way to live.
Nope.
It ain't no way to live just eating on Twinkies and snowballs all the time, neither.
Hell no.
Like one feller in this movie wants to do.
That old feller. Well, he doesn't want to eat snowballs.
No, he don't.
He doesn't like the
I don't either. Those things are fucking stupid. I
Oh.
hate any marshmallow-based thing. Like Easter, you get those little
That's a good
chocolate-covered
point,
marshmallows
yeah.
and stuff. Fuck
I'm not
that
huge on
bullshit.
marshmallows. I do like a Malamar,
Oh,
pretty well.
no. That's
I
a
like
hard
those.
pass.
but everything else, no, I can't. I can't deal with marshmallows. Even on like if
A s'more is different. A s'more is very different.
I was gonna say I don't like s'mores.
Man, you're full of bullshit. S'mores
But
are
you know what's
fucking
really
awesome.
good?
You're a bot.
Take a graham cracker, put the chocolate between it, and eat that.
With the marshmallow.
No,
that's toasted.
no, just the chocolate and the graham cracker.
But there's nothing there that's all
You can burn
gooey
a
and
marshmallow on the side just for fun.
nice. Just out of hate.
That's what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as it's sizzling, I'm like, that's what you get.
You eat your snack while you watch
You
it.
devil pillow.
Devil pillow. You know, Steve, we're going to be talking about Zombieland today.
That's true.
Featuring old Woody Harrelson, who we were just talking about.
Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, Bill
And I'm
Murray.
going to tell you what, I have a shocking revelation about this movie.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to try to keep everybody enticed here and keep them listening to the show because there's some things that I've picked up on here that I've been kind of reading between the lines a little bit. I think I might be reading into some things that other
You
people
think the government's
they're just
up to
not
something?
seeing. You know, the Illuminati wants me to keep these things secret.
Of course
I'm
they
letting
do.
it all go.
The Illuminati wants everything to be secret.
That's true.
They just want people to shut up.
Actually, honestly, that is even part of what I'm looking into.
The truth of the Illuminati
The truth, man.
started by librarians. They just want people to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, bro. But you know, before I can start spilling these hard truths about this movie as we get into our review portion, you know, considering this movie has such an emphasis on the glory of disgusting processed long-living snack cakes, I'd like to take a second here and pull this car aside into the preview palace.
Welcome to the preview palace.
And maybe there's a way that we can find out, I don't know, what snack cake we'd be.
I'm interested to find this out. Now, Ben, I love me some snack cakes. Somebody posted a Nutty Bar
Oh, the classic. Beer of some
beer.
kind. Oh my God.
Nutty
I want
bars
to go to
I
there.
have to stay away from. Things like Nutty bars, oatmeal cream pies.
I hate those so
You do?
fucking
I
much.
love them.
I hate those.
Fudge rounds, any snack cake, I just have to stay away from.
The
Because,
zebra cake used to be my jam.
Oh, zebra cakes.
Yeah. I like the zebra cake. Or the little Christmas ones they do, you know?
The Christmas one. Yeah,
But
they're good.
ultimately, the nutty bars or whatever,
They
those
are
are the best.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to stay away from. I haven't had a Little Debbie in probably a decade.
Wow.
I would think.
Yeah. And your life's better for it.
Probably so.
I think so. I can't see those benefiting your system much at all.
No.
So, Steve, how about before we get into the movie review portion here, let's stop in and ask the kind wizards and witches over at brainfall.com.
Are they witches and wizards?
Well, I don't know.
Is it
What
like
else
a
would they be?
different school?
Yeah,
Are they
totally.
bobatons or drum strings?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Let's ask them which snake cake we'd be. Snake cake.
Snake cake.
you're a
snake
rattlesnake cake. You're a boa constrictor
If
cake.
that is a quiz out there, I'd take it.
I'd
I
rather
don't even
take that
care
one.
what the answer is.
All right, Steve, let me ask you a question here. As a kid, what character were you most drawn to?
Gotcha.
Was it a cowboy or cowgirl, a royalty,
Mm-hmm.
a ship captain, Robin Hood, a bank robber, or a Yeti? So many choices here, Steve.
Yeah. Which character would I have been most drawn to of these? Robin Hood, probably. I loved that Robin Hood cartoon as a kid.
Yeah. You wanted to take from the 1%?
Uh-huh. Oh, and also Robin Hood Prince of Thieves came out when I was like
Yeah.
a tween or so.
And that took a whole lot of your childhood just to watch that movie. It's very long.
Uh-huh. Oh, and then Robin Hood Men in Tights came out. Like
Which is
a
the-
year later,
the
which is
superior version.
the best Robin Hood movie there is.
Obviously, it's the greatest one.
So yeah, I would say as a child I wanted to be Robin Hood.
I'm going to go with the Yeti here. I've always been
Yeah.
really into mythological creatures and stuff. I
Yeah.
had this gigantic monster in my pocket obsession as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever documented that on the show. I was like raging obsessed with Monster in My Pocket. You remember
Huh.
those things?
No.
Dude.
Explain. Maybe I do.
It was
You'd have
this-
to tell me what it looks like.
It was this thing that you could get where you would buy them in these little boxes that were like, you know, fucking 10 packs or 15 packs or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And it would just be these random assorted, non-articulated, just formed rubber plastic figurines.
Oh, I do know these. And yes. Yeah, I had a ton of those.
Yeah. And they had like, it was almost like Muscle Men. Do you remember
Yeah.
Muscle Men?
Yeah, I had a ton of those Muscle Men as well.
Muscle Men are fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
they were
dude.
really cool.
The Monster in My Pockets, they would come in like 4 different colors and they had like different point ratings of like their strength or whatever. Where it's
Oh,
like
so you could,
the
like,
behemoth and shit was like real high up, or the Hydra was really high up
Oh, yeah, I
ranking.
remember this. Yes.
But they'd come with like a little card that would also give you like the information of like the history of that creature and shit, which is what I really got into. Like
Okay.
it had stuff about like Baba Yaga and shit.
Right.
Like kind of obscure like Russian mythology and shit like this.
Well, there's a lot of scary shit in there.
Yeah. And I got really way into that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Which flavor does your sweet tooth crave?
Liquor. Is that an option?
I hope so. Chocolate, strawberry. Let me tell you, my wife bought some strawberries the other day. I hadn't had strawberries in so long.
Yeah?
And I haven't been eating sugar. They're fucking amazing.
Strawberries are insane.
They're so good.
Dude, when I was a kid, every time we had strawberries, my mom or dad would like sprinkle sugar on them.
Oh, yeah. That's
The fuck? Why?
Well, because it makes that syrup, that delicious syrup.
It does make that juice.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to add sugar to
Oh,
it.
they're so sweet.
Vanilla, coconut.
I'm a coconut man.
Are
I'm a
ya?
coconut man myself, dude.
Coconut's
I
great.
love myself that tropical sensation.
One of my, maybe my favorite candy bar is a Mounds.
Fuck yeah, Mounds, dude. People hate on a Mounds.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
They're so good. But chocolate for me. I'm huge on chocolate. Dark chocolate specifically. Just love it.
I've never been a chocolatier. Not really me.
Well, you know, there's a whole world of vanilla and strawberry out there for you.
There you go.
And coconut. There's a ton of coconut stuff.
I'm a fan. All right, Steve, which piece of artwork speaks to your soul? I feel like I
Okay.
already know which one this is. We've got a, Campbell soup cans. What's
Yeah,
his
that's Andy
goddamn name?
Warhol.
Andy Warhol, thank you. This next one looks kind of like a Rothko.
That's Rothko, yeah.
Where it's just kind of an abstract color field. Then we have a Van Gogh. I don't recognize the piece.
And then Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, but it's like a cooler Jackson Pollock. That's
Yes,
a lot of
it
bright
is.
colors.
I was
like
gonna
it.
say I really like the colors on that Jackson Pollock, and the Rothko are kind of muted. So I'd go with the Jackson Pollock there.
Yeah, the Pollock is also what I would choose.
Yeah.
I like how this one looks like a crazy 80s splatter kind of thing. I'll go with the Rothko because it's purple. I like purple.
It looks kind of like a folder I remember having in elementary school.
Oh yeah, man, those Trapper Keeper
They're the best.
artworks were just
They're
the
so
fucking
awesome.
best, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to have like a whole like wall wrapped in like Trapper Keeper artwork, you know?
Yes. What are you filled with, Ben? Delight, awesomeness, magic, excitement.
Wow. Right now, I'm filled with desire to sleep and have free time and function as a human being again.
Right. I've heard of that.
I'm going to go with excitement because I'm excited about living like a human being again.
That makes sense. I'm filled with delight, I think.
I think you're
probably
you're
delight.
Right. Let's bust you open and see.
Okay.
Crack you open, count the rings.
Take me to a quinceañera.
See
Let's
how
go.
old you are. Yeah, let's just bust you open like a piñata. All right, Steve, which time of day do you most need a sugar high? In the morning, the afternoon, the evening, or just around midnight?
Just around midnight. I would say the evening is the time I get cravings for something sweet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually for me, man, morning, afternoon, evening, not really. I'm going to say after around midnight. Yeah.
That's when you're like, where's some Sour Patch Kids?
Exactly.
Yeah.
After I've been in my cups,
Yeah.
been drinking
that's
on
the
some.
time.
Yeah. That's usually what it comes down to for me.
All right. Choose a beverage to wash down a sweet snack with.
Easy.
Guys, choose a beverage with which to wash down a sweet snack.
Okay.
Let's not end our sentences on a preposition.
All right, then. Thank you very much for that correction, Miss Manners.
Milk, coffee, Tang,
Ugh.
Kahlua.
Coffee. Dude, anytime I go to a restaurant or something and I have a dessert, it needs a nice, disgustingly dark cup of coffee to go with it.
Okay.
Always love some coffee.
I would say Kahlua, and that would just be the sweet snack for me.
Yeah, that's kind of it, right? Yeah.
Just
Dude, Kahlua is awesome.
Give me a
man.
Kahlua.
Man, apparently I'm a snowball. Are you kidding? You are a unique individual who loves to revel in your quirky differences. You are confident, bold, and creative and love to be the center of attention. It's not wrong.
Yeah,
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
But I don't want to be no snowball. That's gross.
Okay, this... I don't know if it's correct, but they chose what would be my favorite Hostess snack cake. The Hostess cupcake.
Okay.
You are classy and very well liked and carry yourself with a poise and quiet confidence that is intoxicating.
Okay.
You are steadfast, loyal, and stable.
I can't argue with that.
That's true. I am
Those
pretty-
little cupcakes are gross, though.
Now they are. Have you had a Drake's cake version?
No.
Those are better.
Yeah?
Yeah, Drake's cakes are really good.
I don't know about that cake. I want to meet that cake.
Gotta get you some.
Boom. Goddamn, Steve. I'll tell you what. I've got myself a real issue on my hands here. I've got a problem.
What might that be?
It's the month of October, the month
Yeah.
of All Hallows Eve.
That's it? Uh-huh.
And here I am trying to sell my dang abode. I'm selling my house. I'm putting this thing on the market,
Right.
which of course means apparently you can't decorate for Halloween.
What?
What a bunch of bullshit. I guess some people don't like things that are nice.
Well, what if you could decorate your body for Halloween?
My body?
Yeah.
How could I decorate my body?
Well, you could head on over to Clairvoyant Clothing and get you some of them sweet designs they got over there. They got that spirit board design.
You're wearing that
I'm
right
wearing
now.
it right now, coincidentally. I didn't even think about it.
I can see that you've decorated your body very festively. You're truly in the All Hallows spirit.
I truly am. I did not plan this at all. I actually just wear this shirt pretty regularly. These
On the
are
reg.
good. They're really good shirts.
It's a good high quality shirt.
Yeah.
It's made of that soft material.
Sure is.
Perfect for people that like things that are nice. And I'll tell you what, Steve, I've also been getting myself festive all year round by using my Clairvoyant Death Tarot card design string bag
Yeah?
to stuff full of my cables and equipment and stuff like that every time I'm out gigging with my various musical acts.
You
It's
know what?
great.
When they sent us those string bags, immediately something clicked in my brain, and I was like, "Why didn't we use those when we trick or treated as kids?
My God.
We're carrying around this stupid plastic bag that
Yeah.
gets heavier and heavier over the night. You could just put it on your shoulders."
That's a much better move.
Telling you.
Better for our young, weak backs.
So head on over to clairvoyantclothing.com. You can use our coupon code, which is, of course, Dead and Lovely. That'll get you 6% off, but stuff over there is pretty cheap anyway, starting at $16.66.
This t-shirt of the beast.
Exactly. Man, I'm telling you, head on over there. They're great. Great designs. They got some new stuff for October, so go check it out.
Yes, indeed. All right, Steve, now that we found out what kind of snack cake we are, let's find out what kind of movie this is.
What kind of movie are we?
What kind of movie is a Zombieland?
It's a horror.
Yeah, horror.
It's also got comedy.
A comedy.
And there's a good bit of action in it.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So
it's a Neapolitan.
Basically, it's a combo of 3 awesome things.
Yeah. 3 great tastes combined as one.
They do all 3 of those things well.
They really do.
Every single one of them. The comedy is genuinely funny. The action is genuinely like action packed.
Yeah.
And there's real good tense horror.
Mm-hmm. And the gore and effects and stuff.
Gore and effects look
really
great. Yeah.
Man. I assume this is not the first time you've seen this.
No, I remember watching it around the time it came out.
Same. Yeah. And I think we actually saw this one in theaters, if I'm not mistaken, and we were really stoked about it because it just looked like a ridiculous, fun movie from the previews. I think the preview kind of really represented the movie very well.
Yeah, they did a great job on that ad campaign. I remember it well, and it was you're getting what you were advertised.
Yeah,
you go in there and it's witty, it's funny, it's quick. Like it really is it's a really well snapped together movie. Like no moment drags for me.
No, that's one of the things I'll say is the best about this movie is that the pacing of it, I think, is very even and very well done, and there's like no lulls whatsoever in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes in there which you could just kind of argue and be like, well, yeah, that didn't really need to be in there. That didn't really add much to the story or whatever, but it doesn't really matter because I like the characters so much that I want to see what they would do in that situation.
I think it's character development, and also like they develop their exposition through their character development. There's not a whole lot of saying. There's a whole lot of assuming you do, and then like some flashbacks that kind of show us some stuff. But we're not told everything.
No.
Actually, very little is explained about how this happened and who these people are, like who they were before. We only get just small flashes.
It's all because it's in such a familiar scenario that we find ourselves placed in, because we've all seen so many zombie movies where you've got this lone band of survivors trying to get to somewhere in the country that they think is safe. Like, that's a tale as old as time. So it's almost like the fact that it's in this somewhat tropey story that we just kind of like automatically feel comfortable and like we know these characters. But at the end of the day, you know, I've seen this movie probably at least 5 or 6 times, and it just hit me as we were talking about the episode before we started recording that I was like, you know what? Maybe those 2 girls aren't sisters.
Yeah,
I just hadn't thought about it.
I don't think they are sisters, but yeah, we'll get more into that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot going on. This is written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who wrote Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
They know how to be a funny.
And they know how to be meta. Which this movie does really well.
Yeah.
The original idea was for this to be a series, a TV series.
Ooh.
And they're working on this they're working on this spec script for a TV pilot, and they eventually got some attention with it, and people wanted to make it a movie. They got some help developing the script a little bit from William Goldman, writer
like Princess
of
Bride?
Princess Bride, who is considered by many to be like the best script doctor in Hollywood.
He's like the wolf.
Yeah, you bring him in when you know you've got something good, but you really just need to polish it.
That's all you had to fucking say.
Yeah, you send in William Goldman.
That's pretty badass. I did not know about that. Very cool, man.
And Ruben Fleischer, the director, also helped by telling them to basically pick a goal. The idea of the amusement park being the goal. Because as a spec script for TV, it was, of course, meant to be just a pilot. So there would have been so much more going on in the future. Because it works in that spec script area, that's why I think we get so little revelation as we go through. Because the idea would have been, well, we'll do that in the future. We'll have like future installments, of course. And in fact, since 2009, or in 2009, Paul Wernick stated, we've got a long brainstorming document that still to this day gets updated on a near weekly basis with ideas.
Holy shit.
So 10 years later, they've got this sequel. They've been thinking about it for a very long time.
Well, that's the thing, honestly, is like whenever I watched this movie for the first time, and I was thinking like, wow, I wonder if they'll ever do a sequel. I was kind of thinking the cool thing for the sequel would be like more tales of Zombieland.
Yeah.
Where it's like Zombieland 1 would be about these characters trying to get to this place. Zombieland 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 could be about different groups of people. Yeah, in other parts of the country
from the
or whatever.
previews, that's kind of what it looks like they're doing. It seems like they're introducing all these other characters, because we've definitely seen the girl who obviously can't take care of herself in the previews, the blonde girl.
Kind of girly girl.
And then there's like the guy with the big bag of weed in another preview with Abigail Breslin. So it's like they've found these other people in the last 10 years. So maybe we'll get more of an expansion from it if it does well.
Well, what I'm wondering too is like in the sequel, are they going to address that this is 10 years after the events of Zombieland 1?
I assume they have to, because
especially
Abigail Breslin
Abigail
was
definitely
she was a
aged.
teenager, and now she's in her mid-20s.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably play Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg as being, around the same
Woody
age.
Harrelson does look the exact same.
Yeah.
I watched
That
an
guy
interview
hasn't
with him
aged at
on
all.
Seth Meyers. He's a vegan. Like,
He's one of those people.
Yeah. He's a vegan who smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's an old dope smoker.
Oh yeah, he told this story on Seth Meyers about why he ended up moving to Hawaii, where he and his wife live.
Oh, sick.
And it was that Willie Nelson invited him out to his place in Maui, and like he saw how beautiful it was, and also got super stoned.
Out of some of that Maui Wowie.
Yeah. I recommend looking up some interviews with Woody Harrelson. He's an interesting dude. His
That's
dad
awesome.
was a hitman.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Read up on Woody Harrelson. His life is crazy.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's badass.
He also told this story about having a meal with Donald Trump and his wife. What's her name? Melania. I always want to say Ivanka, because that's the one he talks about.
Yeah.
His daughter.
Ugh.
And Jesse Ventura.
Oh,
he was
Jesus
friends with
Christ.
Jesse Ventura, and Jesse Ventura got invited to perhaps be Donald Trump's running mate. This was like back in 2004 or something. Donald Trump was going to run for president as a Democrat, because
of course.
Just a reminder, he was a Democrat before he just decided to be a Republican all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But of course, he was never a real Democrat. He was just doing it to be popular in New York, because all the rich people in New York are Democrats.
He was never a real person. He was just a rich person.
Just a rich person.
Yeah, trying to get richer as they do.
So anyway, apparently Donald Trump talked for like 98% of the time, and at a certain point Woody Harrelson had to duck out to go smoke a joint to deal with it, because he just couldn't handle
Fuck this noise. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. What a cool guy.
Yeah, that Woody Harrelson, he's pretty great.
And of course, Woody Harrelson is just one small part of the cast in this. This is a relatively small cast movie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me just put it right there. And Woody Harrelson is just one little part of this movie. It's a relatively small cast in this flick, but I think that just lets you get to know each of the characters that much better, because there's really only like 4 characters in this whole movie.
Yeah. 5 of the 6 characters, that includes Amber Heard, who plays 406.
Yeah.
5 of the 6 main characters have been nominated for an Oscar. Emma Stone has won one.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for, what was the name of that movie? The musical, right?
Yeah, La La Land.
La La Land, which was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's never won an Oscar?
He has not. He was nominated for The People vs. Larry Flint, but hasn't won one. Jesse Eisenberg was nominated for Social Network, and
that's right.
Abigail Breslin for Little Miss Sunshine.
Wow. Which, dude, is one of my favorite fucking movies. It's so good. I love that flick.
I
man.
forget what Bill Murray was nominated for. Oh, Lost in Translation. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Crazy, man. Wait, he's never won an Oscar either?
No, only
You're
Emma Stone
kidding.
has won one.
He's a goddamn legend.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of his roles are ones that are probably not going to get awards. Like, despite the fact that Wes Anderson tends to get a lot of maybe technical awards, has he ever had a Best Actor or Actress?
No, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. They should just have a Best Person award.
Yeah, just give it to Bill Murray, Best Person.
Yeah. Person of personhood.
You've done
Bill
it.
Murray. You did
You're
it.
the person of people.
And our main lead in this is Jesse Eisenberg, and he plays this super shut-in, awkward, nerdy gamer guy that is so believable. Like, I have met so many people that are just
Jesse
like
Eisenberg
him.
was made for this part. He plays it so perfect.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah, all of that really awkward shit whenever it's like him in his apartment and 406 comes over and he's like, oh, somebody's hair is in danger of getting pushed behind their ear.
He says that later about Emma Stone, but
that's right.
He talks about that.
He talks about wanting to do it.
I get that, man. Like, as a dude, that's a thing that's interesting. What we learn a lot about him is that he seems to be craving stability. Like, he talks about wanting to find a good woman and get married and have kids and all that stuff because he wants to have a real family. He mentions his parents. So what we gather from that is that his parents weren't close to him.
Yeah.
So we don't know anything about it. They may have been fine parents, but they just weren't close to their son. He seems to have shut himself off from the rest of the world. And what's interesting is that his world doesn't really change much because of the zombies.
Right, yeah.
He didn't want to go out anyway.
That's something that you usually see in these zombie flicks is like whenever the apocalypse strikes, it's like people's lives drastically change and shit. Not really the case with him.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk to people. He didn't want to be like interact with people, which is basically what dealing with zombies is having to interact with people that you don't know their intentions, you don't know what they want, and you assume it's probably the worst.
Yeah.
And that's how his life is. Same with Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin. Their life before the zombie apocalypse is no different than their life after the zombie apocalypse. That's why they've been able to survive. That's why they've been able to do what they do, because they were pros at it anyway.
Yeah. What do you think their relationship is? I mean, it shows that they're kind of like hustling and swindling and stuff like that. But it's
think they were probably in the same foster home or something. It seems like they're runaways that, what's her name? Shit.
There's Little Rock and Wichita, yeah.
Yeah, it seems that Wichita, because, their names are two different cities.
Yeah.
So if they're from
town
these two different cities,
to keep everything from getting too personal.
I mean, that's a possibility, of course. My wife and her brothers are probably all born in different cities because their dad was in the army.
Or maybe they're half-sisters.
Maybe they're half-sisters, something like that.
It's never really revealed, and honestly, it doesn't make the movie better or worse that you don't know.
Because she cares about it. The thing is, they care about each other.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what matters more than what's their relationship with each other.
Which is kind of a setup for the, I guess, moral of the story is that anybody can be family. Like, you don't have to... You don't have to actually be related to be family, which is kind of the sappy tie-up moral at the end. Mm-hmm. But it's a good moral. It's a good thing, is that they all learn, like, to trust each other and to be a part of each other's lives and to be a family, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And the first character that Jesse Eisenberg meets along his way is, of course, Woody Harrelson, who is this guy that is this... dude, I don't even know how to describe his character. He's like this turbo American badass. Mm-hmm. It looks like he stepped out of like a Kid Rock video.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Except he doesn't have terrible hair and wispy facial hair.
Kid Rock looks gross. Dude, as soon as he starts like spray painting the Dale Earnhardt number 3 onto whatever vehicle he's occupying, it's like whatever car it is, that's the first thing he's got to do is put Earnhardt's number on there.
He finds those guns, just got to fire them off in the air. Hell yeah.
He's, God, I love rednecks. Oh, it's so good, man.
But the thing we learn about him is that's not who he was before.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like that's only his post-apocalypse
Like, he's
persona.
obviously supposed to be from the South or whatever. He's not putting that on, but he just seems to have been a normal, everyday dude before his son died because... I assume because of the zombie thing, but we don't know that.
It's never really said.
His son may have died earlier than that, and he turned into this badass, and when the zombie apocalypse came along, he was already a badass.
See, again, that's one of those things, kind of like saying that the girls are sisters that I just assumed, but then watching this under a critical eye, I was like, actually, they never told me that. That was just something I guessed.
No wasted time on exposition.
No.
It's great.
You get the idea of why they are the way they are, or where they are.
Yeah.
Without being led by the hand through every step of the way of, well, his son got sick and then blah, 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 and then the zombie thing. And It's really impressive storytelling.
Yeah, it is.
That you get why they're there and you care without really knowing anything about it, even though you think you do, but you don't.
Yeah, and it's easy to like the characters, even when they do unlikable stuff. They're still like doing stuff that makes sense if you think about it. Like, if you take the information you've been given and think about it for a second, it's like, well, of course they don't trust these guys.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and the girls, I mean, our introduction to them is them swindling the dudes. The whole thing, like, oh, my sister's been bit.
Several times in the movie.
Yeah.
They keep swindling them.
Which is great. Dude, that whole grocery store scene, whenever Woody Harrelson walks in with, like, the banjo
That's
and
great.
shit.
Yeah.
It's so fucking great. Very, very memorable and really fucking funny and really well done.
Yeah. It's shot well. Everything about this movie is just right down the middle. They really fucking nailed everything they were trying to do. So, I mean, I guess we're just going to be talking about how great it is for the next little bit.
Pretty fucking great. I can't lie. It's pretty fucking great, man.
I mean, there's some things to get into for sure, but in the end, this is a really good movie.
Let's talk about some of the things that make this, I think, unique as we get ourselves another pull.
Let's get us a low-carb pull.
Let's do that, man. Let's get ourselves a Lagunitas.
Make it a cauliflower pizza.
That's what it is, man. This is a daytime.
Lagunitas daytime. I have not had this.
Oh, have you not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude. You're going to love it. Like,
I'm excited.
This, honestly, the Dogfish Head was great, but I predict that you'll be like, oh, this is what I'm going to drink whenever I have a little treat beer. Because this is fucking great. It tastes like a Lagunitas.
It says here, the beer in your hand has achieved what we all hope for ourselves, to be made new again.
Ooh.
There is freedom in burning down the house of expectations.
Burning down the
and
house.
It confers an undeniable lightness to being. We didn't invent these truths. They invented us.
We invented the chicken sandwich. Dude, it's so good. Lagunitas just doesn't fuck up. Like, that tastes like a delicious Lagunitas.
Yeah, it does. That tastes like a Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Somehow they got the taste of just their regular IPA into 98 calories and 3 carbs.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fantastic. Like, the aftertaste, the finish is, like, definitely faster than when you have, like, a Maximus or like a Hop Stupid, where, like, a lot of their beers really tend to just, like, stick to your palate and coat it, which is amazing. This is definitely a quicker finish.
That's really good.
But it's fucking great. Like that. Yeah. Unlike the last one where the aftertaste kind of tastes like a Pilsner, the aftertaste of this tastes like a Lagunitas beer.
That is true.
Man,
that is exactly what it tastes like.
Wherever you are in the country, if you can find Lagunitas, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Get yourself a pull off of Lagunitas beer. We love them so much, man. Now, one of the things that makes this movie unique from the get-go is definitely the narrative style. It's kind of narrated by Jesse Eisenberg.
Right.
And one of the things that we get introduced to right at the very first of the movie is these rules of how to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which is cool because, you know, there's like the handbook to surviving the zombie apocalypse and all this other stuff. So it almost feels like it's taking little chapters out of that book, which is a part of pop culture.
Right.
But it's told in such a way that you have these like on-screen captions that kind of remind me of like when you're playing Xbox and it's like award achieved. These little things that pop up. Only the characters and stuff interact with the captions that are on screen.
Yeah, kind
even
of by like opening the door or something.
Yeah, they'll like knock the letters over. But it's not as if they like see them and it's like, what is this? Get this shit out of the way.
It's not Crank.
Yeah,
they're not seeing
exactly.
the subtitles, but it is being interacted with in the environment.
They're there just for us to see. And I love that element. And they kind of keep that as like a thread that goes through the whole movie. Of like, you know, somebody will do a double tap and somewhere in the background you'll see rule number 24, the double tap or whatever. Yeah, it's great, man. Just another like little unique thing to add into this to make it more creative and I think stand out from the rest of the pack of zombie and other zombie comedy movies.
So I was thinking about why they had these things, why they had the rules, why they had the Twinkies, why they had this amusement park that they're aimed for. And what it is these are the things that these people have chosen to care about when there's literally nothing to care about. Like the world has fallen apart completely, and to just not go insane, they've decided to focus on these things. So Jesse I'm
Jesse
Eisenberg, we see him come up with a new rule whenever Tallahassee says you got to enjoy the little things.
Yeah.
So he adds to his list of rules.
Rule number 33: enjoy the little things.
So he's trying to like basically structure his life. Like, these are the things I have to remember to do every single day. If I do these things, I'll continue to be alive. Nothing else really matters.
Yeah.
I'll just focus on doing these things.
That makes sense, because like in times of dire situations, I think a lot of us do find something to put our energy towards to keep your life together.
And people that don't have those coping mechanisms will tend to fall into things like that, but they won't be healthy usually. Like they'll repeat themselves over and over, saying the same thing over and over, trying to just like process what's going on. Because what they're outwardly doing is not what's happening in their brain. They're just doing that to have something to focus on.
Yeah, because that's just a natural human instinct. Wow.
So the same with Tallahassee.
Yeah, with the Twinkies.
He's looking for these Twinkies. Like, because that's the only purpose he has in his life.
He doesn't have his kid anymore, all this stuff. Yeah, he just has to have something to focus on, to find, and give his life meaning and purpose.
The truth of it really seems to be that he doesn't actually want to find them. Because in the snowball scene, if you look in the truck, you can see Twinkies in there.
See, that's something that I read and I didn't notice it whenever I watched the movie this time, because I wasn't really looking for it. But they're in the truck.
They're in the truck. Later, when that one box of Twinkies gets shot, there's another box of Twinkies to the right of it.
Yeah.
He's not after Twinkies.
He's after the idea of trying to find something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if he finds them and then eats them, they're disappointing. Right. This is absolutely true of a Twinkie. If you haven't had a Twinkie in a long time and you go back and eat a Twinkie, it's disappointing. It's not what you remember as a kid. Because as an adult, it just tastes like intense sugar and weird chemicals, and it just doesn't have that same magic. So getting the Twinkie would actually be a negative for him.
Yeah, it's the idea of chasing it that's appealing. Yeah. Like the minute that you actually get it, the quest is over. Yeah. And your life has lost purpose. So it's better for him to never find him.
Right. And then, of course, we've got Wichita and Little Rock, who are going to this amusement park. And what I gather from Wichita is she knows they're going there to die.
Oh.
Because when they opened the gate, she would have, she wanted to actually live, they would have got out and closed the gate. Never had a problem with a zombie.
Oh. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. She was just, that was the end. Like,
she wanted to have a good time and then call
die.
It in. Yeah, cash in the chips.
But of course she can't say that to her sister because her sister's 12.
Yeah.
So she keeps that under wraps, but it seems pretty clear that there was no plan.
It's almost like her focus is on giving this younger girl like some fun
right before she dies
in this horrible, shitty world, because she knows ultimately it's all futile.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's very like fucking dark.
Yeah, this movie's really dark. It's like, but you can't tell because it's so funny.
Yeah,
and that is actually how it would be. In reality, like, people wouldn't stop trying to be funny in
That's the only way you could survive, dude.
Yes. That would be the only way you could deal with it, because everything has fallen apart. Your entire world, like, the idea of working towards anything doesn't matter anymore. So, I mean, you got to make something out of it, right?
Yeah.
You got to make some humor. You got to figure out some reason to keep going. Otherwise, you just kill yourself.
That's awesome that you kind of found that thread of like people just trying to find something to focus on to make their lives meaningful or have purpose, because that completely makes sense. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but yeah, you're exactly right. That's really cool stuff, man. And in addition to the humor, we've also got some great special effects, makeup and gore and stuff in this. There's some really well done shit in here, man.
Yeah, this is by Tony Gardner. He did the Blob remake. He worked on the Blob remake. These were early in his career, so he was working with, I think, Rick Baker. I'm not positive.
I've heard that Blob remake is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And P.S., there's a brand new episode of Fat Man Beyond, Kevin Smith's Batman podcast.
Does he talk about it?
He interviews Rick Baker.
Oh, really?
Dude.
That's awesome.
It's fucking great. Rick Baker is such a nerd, as you would expect.
It seems like all those special effects guys are.
Yeah, they're just geeks. Like, honestly, geeks. Savini is like the coolest.
He's the cool guy, yeah.
Easily
Savini is the cool guy. Though I imagine anybody who doesn't care about horror would be like, that's your cool guy?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Like, no, he's the coolest dude in the world. What are you talking about?
Rick Baker's got this amazing story about this like 35 cent you know, basically like what would be the predecessor to Fangoria, like monster special effects of the 1950s or whatever magazine that like he saved up his allowance to buy, and it like changed his life. It's really cool. Be sure to listen to that.
He also worked on Army of Darkness, and There's Something About Mary, that the Lin Shaye's boobs part. Those weren't actually Lin Shaye's boobs.
Wait, that's Lin Shaye?
Yeah.
Like Bob Shaye's wife?
Yeah, the tan lady. No,
Dude,
Bob
Shaye's is
daughter.
Oh, daughter.
Yeah, she also plays. She's in a ton of movies now, but she played the teacher in Nightmare on Elm Street in the scene where Nancy falls asleep and then sees Freddy. So he's worked on some cool stuff and definitely nailed this. And he's back for part 2, so cool. Part 2 will look the same.
I love the scene in this where like there's that zombie in the middle of the road that's like chomping on that corpse, and she like breaks the arm off and like eats the marrow out of the bone. Yes. It's so disgusting. The zombies in this are like really moist.
Yeah.
They're always like puking blood. Yeah, liquids out.
You would be, I would think, right? If your body...
Decomposition tends to make things quite gooey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always wondered, because there are different types of zombies, certainly. I've always wondered, the most decomposed type of zombie, is there some flow of blood? Like, how are they moving?
I mean, something's got to be working to make muscle action happen. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure about that.
Get a doctor on that. Any doctors out there, tell me how zombies work. I know you've been studying them in your secret labs.
And these are like some sprinter, wild-ass zombies, too.
Yeah, they've got the 28 days later type of... But they are actually dead. They're not the 28 days later for sure, because they're decomposing.
Right. And I like, too, how this movie kind of sidesteps a lot of those zombie movie tropes where you find people in these situations where they're trying to defend themselves against a zombie that was maybe a loved one or whatever. Like, at the first of the movie, we have, you know, the whole encounter with 406, this like hot girl from across the hallway that he really liked. And he bashes her fucking head in with the back of a toilet tank.
Yeah.
You know, he's not just like running like, no, I love you. Oh, I'm getting eaten now. Like, he does the thing where you're like, no, fucking defend yourself. Fucking put the shower curtain around her, which is awesome.
That's a good choice. Yeah. If she can't bite you, you know.
I love during like the cardio rule that he's outlining. Like, he's going for the car. He fumbles with the keys, drops them, and then
runs around,
takes another lap. Yeah, because in zombie movies, they're always like fumbling with the keys. They drop them. They pick them
like,
up.
Oh no!
Oh, now I'm being devoured. Yeah,
it's like, no, it's just get away again.
Yeah, drop them, run around the car a few times, leave them behind. Then you get another try. It does a good job of like sidestepping some of those obvious zombie movie survivor tropes.
Yep.
You know,
that's true.
Does that stuff really, really well.
Yeah, I think in a time when there was maybe too much zombie stuff, Zombieland stands out as having done something considerably different with the zombie story.
Because it's even different from Shaun of the Dead, which isn't too far off from being a contemporary.
Shaun of the Dead's 2005, this is 2009, just 4 years later. Like,
it feels very different, though.
Yes,
I mean, they are both zombie comedies, but they don't really feel similar to me.
No, they don't. They both live high on the horror comedy top 10, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely so.
But
top 5.
For sure. They definitely have a different outlook and a different tone, a different way of presenting everything. This is still full of dry humor, much like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. But it's dry American
humor, yeah.
Yeah, so which is considerably more...
moist?
Damp.
Damp American humor, that's what it is.
One of the other things that's done really well in this movie is the use of some of those background characters and how they reoccur, which is something I didn't really notice until this time through.
I watched it right before I left, and I was like, wait a second, that gas station attendant was the guy who got ate in the stall.
Yeah, by the clown. No, not the clown zombie. Just a zombie that walked under the stall. Yeah, Kate pointed that out. We were watching. She's like, wait, wasn't that guy that got swindled with the ring or whatever, the guy that got eaten earlier? And I was like, oh shit, that's totally him.
And also the fat guy who got eaten when he was talking about cardio He's the guy later in the store when he plays the banjo. The guy who Tallahassee says has a pretty mouth. That's the fat guy from the beginning who got killed. I
did not notice that.
Yeah.
Whoa, so that's him zombified.
Uh-huh.
Dude, that's cool. I didn't notice that.
Which serves to give you a location. It reminds you where you are. You're in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Because that's where Columbus was. And he saw those things. So he hasn't left Austin for quite a while, which gives us more idea of what a shut-in he is.
Yeah.
Because it's actually been a while since this started.
It seems that way. And that's also indicated, too, that the timeline of this is something that has been growing for a while, but something you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, whenever Tallahassee is knocking the windows out of that minivan, in the background there are posters. They're not like written on poster board. They're made by a printing company.
Yeah, like printed.
And so that indicates there was some society still going. And the posters say, "We stand against the infected, citizens against the horde. Share the information you have," which I assume is if you know someone's been bitten or
turn
whatever.
them in, yeah.
And then one that was very strange to me, it's just a picture of a hand grenade and it says, "Solve it."
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
if you
like
see
there's
him, kill him.
Yeah, there's just this whole period of time where there was some human resistance that we didn't even see. Like this movie just goes out of its way to build this huge world without ever forcing it on us.
Yeah. It never gives us the whole breakdown. Like the closest that it comes to that is whenever Jesse's like, "Oh, there was mad cow and that led to man human."
Yeah, the opening and like
that's still pretty vague.
It's still vague.
Yeah,
because he doesn't talk about any sort of human resistance. He doesn't talk about this long period where people were trying to fight them off or whatever. He just sort of introduces bare bones what's going on.
Yeah,
it's great.
But yeah, you're right. It's like there's all these little tiny things that happen in the background that give us some of that world building without explicitly telling us. It's like the movie is fine even if you don't notice that stuff. It's also better if you do notice that stuff.
That's true. It improves. That's the cool thing is when you go back and watch a movie that you really liked the first time and then you start noticing in the background like, oh, they didn't seem to care about this movie or whatever. Like they didn't put a lot of effort into it. It kind of makes you not like it as much. But when you go back to a movie you've loved and then you see like, wait, there's so much more going on to this. Like there's so much more depth to this movie I already like.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I like those kinds of movies where it's like you get out of it what you put into it. You can just watch it for the laughs. That's
sure.
fine.
Yeah. This movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you even have to pay attention to all the stuff in the background, but they still put that there for dickheads like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also just watch it for the fucking badass soundtrack.
Yes.
Dude, whenever we watched this for the first time and during those opening credits, which are utterly fantastic, all these slow motion zombie situations of like, there's like businessmen running out of a zombie stripper bar. Where like the chick's got like nipple tassels on and she's been zombified.
And when she's running
after
the tassels,
yeah,
like rotating.
Yeah, amazing. And it's to the soundtrack of "For Whom the Bell Tolls" by Metallica.
The bell tolls.
My buddy Joe used to think the chorus said "Valley of the Trolls."
Valley of the Trolls.
Oh, okay, which works too. Yeah. But dude, whenever we saw that in the theater, and it was like, holy fuck, they're putting old school Metallica in the credits.
Yeah.
I was like, I am way on deck with this. And then later on, they start playing fucking Everybody Wants Some by Van Halen. Like, not even playing, like, Ain't Talking About Love.
No.
Or another, like, A-level Van Halen song, like Jump. You know what I mean? They put
the perfect
Everybody
song for the
Wants
moment. Because that's when he starts.
Yeah.
They find the guns in the Hummer, and he starts firing off the
Everybody
gun.
wants some.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And also the original music they did for the movie is
good.
fantastic
Really
too.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely no complaints about that, man.
Yeah. Music in this is awesome. I'm trying to find something to complain about, honestly.
I know, really. Yeah, it's one of those that it is kind of difficult to find something to really nag about, isn't it? Didn't you say there's like a Herb Mangione song or something in there?
What's his name? Chuck Mangione.
Chuck Mangione.
There's a
I was
Chuck
thinking of
Mangione
Herb Alpert as soon as I was
There's
thinking
also Hank Williams.
Yeah, some Hank in there. That's right.
Yeah, it's all over the place and it all works. It all comes together.
We can't not mention maybe the greatest cameo in horror history.
Yeah.
of them rolling up to this Hollywood A-listers mansion.
That's a big BM.
It's a big BM for motherfucking Bill Murray.
Uh-huh.
Dude, and when his character is introduced and he's like awaking on that bed and you can tell he's all zombified and stuff. And then it turns out he's just in costume.
Yes. And
my God.
Really improved the movie.
Tremendously.
Yes.
And he's in the movie as Bill Murray.
He's just playing Bill Murray. Yeah.
And I'm sure he's
Woody
making all
Harrelson,
that
who was
shit
in
up.
Kingpin with him, says, "I love all your movies."
Yeah.
It reminded me, there's a joke in season 6 of Community. Paget Brewster plays a recurring character in season 6. She actually played a bit role in season 5 where she was the IT lady. And there's a joke in season 6 where she says, "I keep trying to call the IT lady, but then a bright white light flashes and I wake up with a bloody nose."
Holy shit.
And
Deep callback.
I feel like that's probably what Woody Harrelson, like the character in this, when he watched Kingpin, was like, he just woke up after a bright flash of light, like, what was that movie?
It's kind of like how they have Rachel Dratch as like all those characters on 30 Rock.
Yes.
She's always like the damn cat wrangler, and then she'll be like an exterminator.
And she was like the blue thing that Tracy was seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit. I forgot about that. That's fucking hilarious, man. Yeah, dude. Bill Murray showing up in this was utterly hilarious. And then Emma Stone's like whacks the shit out of him. Because they're like getting stoned and stuff.
Ooh. Not a zombie noise, yeah.
And they like all get stoned and stuff, and they watch Ghostbusters.
That's like, honestly, if I went to hang out with Bill Murray, that's what I'd want to do with him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like, can we watch Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
I
just
wanna
tell me
hear
stories about it and stuff.
Ghostbusters. And the fact that he was game to do it and to recreate a scene in Zombieland from Ghostbusters.
Dude, and Emma Stone doing her Annie Potts.
Perfect Annie Potts impression.
Fucking perfect. Oh my God. It's so fantastic, man. And then, dude, that scene whenever they're like, hey, go in here and sneak up on them in your zombie outfit. And then he just gets blown away. I don't think that I've ever heard an audience in a movie theater have a reaction quite like that.
Yeah.
Where it's this simultaneous shock and laughter at the same time.
Like, that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah. It was like the loudest, weirdest noise I think I've ever heard while watching a movie, because it's hilarious. And then you're also like, oh, fucking no. They just killed Bill Murray. Yeah. It was so genuine and awesome. And yeah, the first time that happens when you watch this movie is pretty unforgettable, because you definitely don't expect for them to accidentally just blow Bill Murray away.
No, you expect, well, he's there. He's going to be there the rest of the
Bill
movie.
Murray, yeah. No, he's
Nope,
not.
He's
he doesn't
dead.
last very long. Any regrets? Garfield, maybe.
So Woody Harrelson said that Bill Murray improvised most of his part.
Yeah, I assume.
Which I imagine was just terrible for the other actors, because they were all cracking up.
Yeah, how do you fucking keep up?
And you can tell because every shot they have of them reacting to the lines is a shot of them by themselves.
It's a cutaway.
So they definitely were like, okay, react to that funny thing Bill said now. Like, because there are no shots of them all together when he's talking. Because if there were, somebody would laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not notice that. That's funny. Yeah, that's amazing. Dude, Bill Murray is just the best.
Yeah.
He's the fucking best, man. I love so much that he was in this movie.
Will we ever? Oh, yeah, Ghostbusters. I was going to say, will we ever get to talk about Bill Murray again?
Fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And you know what? Scrooge. We could do Scrooged at Christmas. That's got some horror elements in there. Actually, it has some really great special effects and stuff in there, too.
Yeah.
His boss that comes back is like the golfer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Scrooge is
That's a good movie. Yeah.
That's a great movie. And also fucking, damn it. What's her name? Carol
Kane?
Carol Kane is in there as well.
Yes.
So we get to do our Carol Kane voices again.
Finally.
Yeah. I know everybody's been wanting that.
More Carol Kane. I can't remember how we did it. Damn it.
It's more like Carol Kane. People want that.
I
for
love
sure.
that voice.
All right, Steve. I've got to break something down for you
Break it down.
about this movie. And this is just my outlook, my opinion. Maybe I've got box fever right
I
now.
hope so.
Maybe I've overdosed on packing up boxes full of stuff. Maybe the fumes from that clear packing tape have really got to my head. I just have to ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
Is this movie maybe, possibly, I'm not saying definitely,
Possibly, maybe
about the Western expansion of white people in America and the brutal destruction of the Native Americans? I'm sorry, just give me a second.
There is that Calumet Indian
Baking powder in the background.
Mm-hmm. So
let me just put it to you this way.
Okay.
We've got a whole bunch of white people.
Sure.
Our main character's named Columbus.
Whoa.
He is joined by Tallahassee and Wichita, which are named after Native American tribes that were destroyed by white people.
Right.
They are on a quest to head west to Pacific Paradise,
Okay.
where they think there will be no more of these things that are plaguing them in their journey across America.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Along the way, they brutally destroy
Uh-huh.
these zombies and stuff that are already there.
They walk into a place that's selling fucked up, cheap Native American stuff and
Here's
destroy
the thing. It could have been any gift shop.
Yeah.
It could have been any fucking gift shop. They specifically chose a Native American gift shop.
I would love if they came out and said that were the case. Because
am I crazy? Is it not right there?
That's not actually crazy. Is that a lot of writers will work off of stuff like that. They'll work off of some real big event or real big theme that will distill very, very lightly into the finished product. Like, it won't be very obvious.
Yeah.
But it seems like, I would say, just as you were saying it, all the evidence lines up. It seems to be, at the very least, in there.
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
I think it has to be. And there's also just like little things that you could think about and consider to add to that.
Yeah.
All of the vehicles that they drive are American. Humvees, Cadillacs, all American cars.
Yeah.
Which again, he emblazons with NASCAR numbers, which couldn't be more American.
America. Yeah.
America. How many rules does Jesse Eisenberg have?
He had 33.
Which is, of course, the most holy Masonic number, which is emblazoned all over American history.
That is true.
I mean, I think it's there.
I think we need to make a room 237 about Zombieland.
I think you might be right. I mean, dude, Columbus. He's called Columbus.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I see it. I mean, even naming her Little Rock is an imitation of an Indian name.
Yeah.
Even though it's a city, it's also an imitation of an Indian name. So that is,
I know. It's something to consider. And I mean, like I said, it really hit me when they specifically trashed this Native American store.
Yeah.
And they're just selling,
they're just selling like cheap trinkets that basically are appropriating Native American culture for tourist dollars.
And they absolutely disrespect it and don't give a shit about it and just trash it.
I cannot disagree. I'll be honest with you. I can't even...
Something to consider. Like, I want to know from other people if I'm looking way too much into this, but I think I'm on to something.
I think you're very much on to
personally.
something, and I want to interview these two guys now.
Yeah, with that in mind.
Not even indicate to them that I'm on to them.
Yeah,
and then suddenly like,
you guys really went on the warpath with this movie, am I right?
That's interesting, huh? You know, leaving this after that buck scene, I'd say there were a trail of tears behind me.
They're like, wait. I've not seen anybody else talk about this.
No, that was nowhere in any of the research I found. So, yeah, but I buy it.
Yeah,
I buy it
because, like I said, they just absolutely mow them down.
Yeah.
As they pursue their westward expansion.
You could very easily associate the expansion of white people across this continent as zombies terrorizing the land.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were. They were consuming everything and destroying for no reason. So yeah, the Native Americans see these white expansionist settlers just coming in and consuming everything and destroying everything with no regard for any of their traditions and the ideas of sustainability that they seem to have lived by. Some tribes. It's always weird to talk about Native Americans as a monolith because there were so many freaking tribes.
Oh my God,
they did not all believe the same things.
No.
And there certainly were Native Americans who were assholes.
Sure. There's assholes everywhere.
We always assume they're like all peaceful and in tune with nature. No, some of them were just shitheads.
Yeah, that's just humans for you there.
That's how humans are.
I mean, the fact is that they're going to Pacific Playland. Like, it's like the idea of when they reach California and finally expand all the way to the West Coast, that everything will be groovy.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's totally there, and that's something...
Madness.
It's something I assume somebody will hear from us and make a video that gets like 2 million views without ever mentioning the idea that
Trademark Dad Lovely. Trademark Dad Lovely. I will tell you what, though, seeing them destroy that gift shop was totally like me living out my long-standing recurring dream that I have where I get to destroy a grocery store. It was completely like that. Just them in slow motion, tipping those shelves over, breaking shit. It was like, dude, this is exactly what I do in my dreams when I realize I'm dreaming and I'm in a grocery store. Just fucking trash it. It looks so fun.
There has to be a video game out there where that's all you do. Because, like, I get it. Somebody might be like, oh, GTA. Well, no. If you fire a rocket at a building in GTA, it does not affect it. Only some things can be fucked up. I want a game where every single thing can be fucked up.
I've always wanted that. I want to level everything, man.
And I don't want to be a big monster like in Rampage.
No, I want to be human. Yeah.
I want to be like, if I were destroying shit, what would I do? Like, it just sounds fun.
And the thing is you got to have ways to blow off steam when you're in the zombie apocalypse. When everything that's ever been built around America no longer matters and like material goods have no meaning and money has no meaning. You got to do something.
Very clear how little meaning everything has to them. They're like when he wipes his tears with the real money. Whenever they're just shooting shit in Bill Murray's house, like just shooting probably $100,000 pottery and shit. They don't care. None of it matters anymore. It's all gone.
How would you be blowing off some steam if you found yourself in a zombie apocalypse?
I would definitely fuck some shit up. That would be fun.
I think I'd be breaking a lot of glass. Like, that's one of those things that to me is
it's always satisfying.
Extremely appealing.
It is always satisfying.
Even if you just like throwing a rock through an old window. Like, basically, I don't know about you, but anytime that I have something that's like glass that I'm going to throw away, like, oh, here's this old cracked picture frame or whatever, throw this in the trash, I will always try to just destroy the fuck out of it whenever I throw it in the trash can. There's just
I never really take a lot of care.
The appeal of just hearing that glass shatter. And I'm also just hoping to summon Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously.
Yes, if you get the right glass break, he will show up.
He'll appear, man.
He will stun somebody in the room, drink a 6-pack of beer, flip you off and leave.
Throw some deuces up, man. Absolutely so. Watched his Hot Ones episode recently.
Well, I've seen that one.
It's
really good.
It's fantastic.
It's a great interview. Sean Evans is the best interviewer, I think, out there of celebrities. I don't know how he would do against politicians, but I'd like to see it.
I would love to see that.
I would like to see Sean Evans get to interview a politician. I
bet
he could
be like
grill
a moderator
the fuck out of him.
at like one of these like debates and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I would be way on deck with that.
All right, Mr. President, explain that, Graham.
I mean, dude, what if like the way we've been having these like Democratic debates and stuff here recently, what if they were all up there eating hot wings?
I would love it.
That'd be so much better.
Yeah, because the hotter, that's the genius of Hot Ones, is that the hotter it gets, the more your walls fall down, and you can't lie.
Nope.
You can't even come up with something, so you just say the truth.
It's like the lightest form of like torture possible.
But the torturer is also going through it with you.
That's true.
Even though every time somebody has called him out, anytime somebody switched wings with him, they've found out he's eating the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
So he's like he's going on a journey with you, but he's also like putting you in a corner where you can't possibly lie. It's great.
I want to try them sauces too. Those Hot One sauces.
Me too. I think in reality, Like, if I were on Hot Ones, I would eat every single one, but I would regret it for a week, probably.
Yeah. I imagine they get pretty fucking agonizing.
But in
towards the
reality,
end.
like, the only ones I think are probably good are up to, like, 5.
Yeah, totally.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe those hotter ones do taste good, but I know for sure I don't want Da Bomb.
I mean, that's
Nobody
gotta
has
just be
ever
awful.
eaten
Yeah.
Da Bomb and been like, this is good.
delicious. Yeah, everybody's like,
this tastes
fuck
like
you.
burnt rubber.
Yeah, this is awful. It's like a chemical weapon.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be awesome if one time during the show we go so low carb that all we do is eat hot wings during the show.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. I'd love that. If our show was us eating hot wings, I'm fine with that.
It's the only horror movie mukbang podcast in all the known multiverse.
Are there mukbang podcasts? Who
God
would
damn it,
listen
you know
to
that there are. You know there are.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because there's that one lady. Have you ever seen the mukbang video of that lady
Fuck
eating that
no.
huge lobster?
No, why would I?
Oh my God. She has a salad serving bowl full of melted butter and this gigantic lobster. And she's just like I'm doing it away from the mic because I don't even want to hear those noises when I'm editing this.
No.
But like just so loud. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal.
I think what we really learn whenever we see like the number of views these YouTube videos get, it's just the fact that like humans are openly disgusting and love being disgusting and experiencing disgusting shit.
That's true.
I mean, fucking Dr. Pimple Popper is probably a goddamn.
She's got a show
millionaire.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, well, pimple popping is big with the ladies. It seems.
It seems that way. Yeah.
I think a lot of that probably has to do with feeling like you don't have control in your real life because women are oppressed, and so you take some control. I can get rid of that blackhead.
Maybe
I feel
you do.
clean now. Thank you, Biore Strip.
You did it.
Yeah. So I noticed something that I think is just a real bright idea in writing. They use the word smooth 3 times. Thrice, one would say. They use it when Jesse Eisenberg has that cup of, I guess, probably Code Red Mountain Dew.
Red, yeah.
And he's playing his video game and he tries to tip it up without using his hands.
Yeah.
And gets it all over himself and he says, smooth. Then later, Tallahassee offers him that liquor, and then he, just pretends
Shoots it
chucks it out the window,
which is
and then
great.
says smooth.
Yeah.
And then later again, Bill Murray lights up the bong, and then Woody Harrelson starts coughing, and Bill Murray says, "Smooth, isn't it?"
So you think that's very deliberate?
I think it's very deliberate, but it's a genius move because it doesn't stick out, but your brain will catch it. Your brain catches all these things. So your brain then sees there's a connection through these things, and you feel more like the story is consistent and connected. I mean, the fact that the story is, in fact, consistent and connected does that the most effective. But this helps to bridge the 3 different acts. In fact, the first one happens in the first act. The second one happens at the beginning of the second act, and the third one happens at the end of the second act. So they're really bridging together all these different things. They do it also with the Twinkie, because the Twinkie is not only Woody Harrelson's goal, but it's something that gets talked about by each of the characters. And then also when they're watching Ghostbusters,
that's a hell of a big Twinkie.
that's a hell of a big Twinkie is the line that they show.
I noticed that this time. I was like, man, they're just keeping this in everything. It's like a little musical motif throughout a
exactly.
piece.
It feels more compact. It feels more together because of that motif that runs through.
Yeah, even if it's like little subtle psychological things.
It doesn't have to be the big stuff. The smaller things, in fact, can help an already solid story like go into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Just be something that people really connect with, because you feel, I don't know, like it's just this thing where you feel successful when your brain makes these connections. Even when you don't know it consciously. When your brain is connecting things and everything's going together, you feel smart and you feel like you've done something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're
so
seeing
like,
all the pieces come together.
Exactly. Which is why great classical music does the same stuff. Yeah. Any great piece of music will tend to carry motifs throughout
Yep.
that just keep bringing you back.
Absolutely. Like one of the examples I always think about whenever I'm thinking about that same thing you were just talking about. Like next time you're listening to the radio and they start playing like Enter Sandman by Metallica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what we think of now as one of the most overplayed metal songs in history.
Right.
But think about it next time you listen to this and be watchful of how many times they use that little phrase that goes dun 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 dun. You know, that little thing that kind of wraps up the riff. It's in like every fucking riff through the whole song.
Yeah.
The entire time. There's something going da 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 at the end of like everything. But it's just like a little subtle thing. It's not like a big attention grabbing deal. But like think about it in terms of like, yeah, it's in the main riff. Mm-hmm. It's also what it's played behind After Never Neverland. It's that same little lick. It's in the verses. Mm-hmm. To include everyone. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. It's in every fucking riff of the song. It's not a big standout thing, and a lot of times, like during the chorus, it's behind a vocal and stuff. But you're right. Little things like that recur, I think, build this psychological thread that links its way through an entire piece, whether it be a movie or a song, that, like you said, makes it feel very complete and very whole, you know?
And if anyone thinks we're digging too much out there, I'm telling you, if you're not thinking about these things in your creative endeavors, you step up. Step up a level. You really do need to be thinking about how your audience is going to feel at the end of this. And what you generally want with a movie, especially a movie that is a comedy throughout, is for your audience to feel happy when they leave. And what makes people feel happy more than anything is being right.
Yeah, true.
When they feel correct, when they feel they've done something or accomplished something. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's why, like, it goes back to Eddie Murphy's joke about why white dudes loved Rocky so much. Because they got to fulfill their power fantasy of being bigger and stronger than the big black guy.
Oh shit.
And that is it. That is it entirely. Yeah. And like so much of creativity is finding how to make people feel good about what you've done. And then, of course, there are the people who know that and then manipulate it the other way. They want you to feel bad. Mm-hmm. Like, we get that, for instance, with a lot of Rob Zombie's movies, where you don't ever feel good. Like, everything that would flow right, he sort of, like, undercuts it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you get the scene with Captain Spaulding being this nice-seeming clown guy, and then suddenly it turns a real bad way, and you feel gross. There's
expectation fulfillment, which is good for our brains, and expectation then it takes a different path, which is interesting to us.
It's interesting. We want to see like, oh, where's this gonna go? Like it draws us in instead of making us feel like we've accomplished something. It's like, oh, well, you need to try and understand this.
And there's a fine line between predictability and that anticipation, and being like, oh yes, this worked out the way that I thought that it would, and that's very satisfying in a way somehow. Yeah, because ultimately this movie doesn't really go for a big like emotional sucker punch, like, this hard-ass Woody Harrelson character who was so mean and gruff the whole movie, he died to save his friends. Like, that doesn't happen.
No, he survives.
Yeah, everybody gets out alive.
It's a happy ending.
Yeah, and that's great. Like, I couldn't imagine this really ending any other way.
You don't see that in zombie movies.
No.
Like, that's what they were subverting something. They were saying, you know how you walk into a zombie movie and walk out feeling gross? Well, in this one, you walk out feeling like you've done something and these are your friends. And everything's awesome now.
Yeah, and then they work together and they get out.
Yeah, and hopefully everything's better.
Yeah. It's great, man.
It's
honestly,
a great movie,
like there's very little to complain about this movie.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Like there's not any kind of like crazy B story of some crazy conspiracy of and the government made these zombies and blah blah blah. There's nothing really going on a B story in this movie.
There isn't really.
No.
It's all together.
Yeah.
I mean, the A and B story are just what's going on with Tallahassee and Columbus, and what's going on with Little Rock and Wichita.
I mean, they cashed in all their chips.
But they're together most of the time.
Yeah, they cashed in all their chips on like, what if we just made the characters really good and really lovable, and you'll just enjoy spending all your time with them. Okay, that's enough.
Which is also an indication that it was a spec script for a pilot, where what you're setting up is we want people to love these characters so they'll come back for the conflict.
That's true.
So, like, just so much of this comes back to the fact that they thought this would be a TV show and they had expanded this world so much just in brainstorming what it would be like, that they were able to feed that in through the characters without stuffing it in places where it doesn't fit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, pretty genius, I would say. In the end, this is definitely signs of an amazing script. Really good directing. I think the action scenes in this are amazing.
They are. They're great.
They're quick. They're efficient. They don't spend too much time on anything. I mean, even when Woody Harrelson's in that cage just destroying zombies, that doesn't actually last as long as it seems.
No, it doesn't.
It's only about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But so much action happens in that 15 to 20 seconds that you feel like you're watching a whole bunch of stuff.
And the girls are trapped up at the top.
Oh my gosh, that's so that's like the perfect tense idea of something lowering you down
slowly.
To zombies.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, those kinds of rides, those drop kind of rides are tense enough as it is.
Yeah.
But then when you also factor in
zombies.
Yeah, dude.
They shot that on a green screen, but I believe when they're in the pirate ship, they're actually in that ship. That's cool. Just shots of them riding the ride.
Nice.
But that's just such a great tense moment. Whenever you're thinking of what fun could you have in an amusement park with zombies, they figured out most of it.
Yeah. They put some thought into it, man. You got any final thoughts, rating, and stuff like that about this flick?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a Springer's final thought.
Yeah?
I'm going to turn to the left.
It's over there.
I loved how Springer's final thought was the episode was Nazi trans men who love black women. And then he'd have a final thought that was about humans need to learn to get along. Just wait, what?
At the end of the day,
where did that come from, Springer? Final thoughts. I've said it all. There's nothing more about this movie that nothing I would complain about, really. No. It is a fun watch. It's never drags. Mm-mm. It has a great comedy, great acting, great directing, great writing. I can't recommend it more highly.
Yeah.
Do I give it a 10? I don't give a shit. It's a 10.
Boom.
10. Yeah.
Damn, dropping that dime on this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with you, really.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it is a very well-paced, well-acted, the humor is great and never forced. It never feels like they shoehorned humor or horror or action into any of this stuff. It all just kind of seems to work very naturally and flow very well.
Both sets have the straight man. The straight man is Jesse Eisenberg. One would say Tallahassee's the straight man, but he's not. He's the one who's making the jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg is the straight man throughout. And then Wichita, she seems to be just doesn't really make jokes, but then Abigail Breslin, she's the jokey one. And because you have the two straight men with these two wackier characters, each scene with them is a delight. They're always building comedy without having to do jokey shit.
Yeah. And it's great too that the jokey characters are polar opposites. It's an old man and a young girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really feel like they're clones of each other's characters or anything, but they are essentially fulfilling the same role of adding the humor and stuff into their dialogue.
Yeah.
Well paced, very efficient. I don't feel like there's really any wasted moments. In this movie, it doesn't overstay
nowhere
its
I
welcome.
would cut. I wouldn't think.
I feel like a lot of people would try to make this in a 2.5 hour long movie. It just doesn't need that. It's 88 minutes, dude. Yeah. It's short.
It's a short movie.
And it feels like it should have been that long.
And I don't know what the sequel's running time is, but hopefully about the same.
I can't wait to see it. I wish that I had more time that I could be definitely we're doing a mini-sode on it. I'm not doing anything this week.
Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility,
We will
yeah.
try to do it.
Yeah, if it happens,
hope
it
we do
happens.
it.
Yeah, because I would love to watch it, especially after having just watched this and remembering how much I dig this movie and how fantastic it is. I don't know if I'm going to go total dime on it with you. I think I'm going to say like a 9.
All right.
I think it's a 9 for me.
That makes sense.
It's just one of those movies that, like, why wouldn't you watch it?
Yeah,
Great gore,
I can't.
Great comedy, great acting. It looks good. Why the fuck wouldn't you?
And it's, I would say, even like, if you got teenagers and they want to watch Zombieland, let them watch Zombieland. Like,
yeah, it's not.
It's really
It's not like gratuitously anything, honestly.
Yeah. It's just a great movie. Fun time.
Totally agree, man. Now, next week on the show, we're going to be talking about something that I will tell you about after we ask you to give us your money. Boom. That was smooth, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, honest. It was honest.
It was honest. That is true. Patreon.com/dead and lovely. You head over there. You give us $1, $3, $5 a month. If you give us $5 a month, you can submit a title. We will tell you in just a second who won the drawing that we did today.
For the month of October.
But if you head over to Patreon, you can donate some money. If you only have $1 to donate a month, that's fine.
Sick.
We'll give you a shout out on the show.
Absolutely.
Just like these fine people.
Listen to them. They're so fine.
Blake Popst.
Blake Popst. I want to not excommunicate this Pope stuff. What? Is that good? That worked. That worked.
That was awesome.
People love that one.
David Beebe.
David Beebe. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
David Beebe Gun.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
That's what they call him.
BB Gun?
BB Gun.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Jason Rome.
Roam if you want to. Jason round the world.
Jason around the world. That's where you just slowly walk with a machete.
Takes a while.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
And Andy Rohr. Now, Ben, I want to tell you something about Andy Rohr and Jason Rome. They both spell their last name R-O-H and then whatever. I had an idea. Andy Rohr, I need you to find your great-great-grandfather's tombstone.
Okay.
Go to his tombstone. What you're going to see probably is a little bit of dirt up in the corner right near the last R.
Okay.
Wipe that away. You're going to find out it's an M. You guys are long-lost brothers.
Oh, my God.
Jason and Andy, I know. You're crying right now. You're crying. But
Making connections.
You guys got to get together.
Bringing people together.
Mm-hmm. You guys got to get together.
Hear me roar. I was waiting on that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, hear me roar.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, thank you guys so much for giving us your dollar papers. Your digital dollar papers.
Yeah, they're still dollar papers.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
all the
like,
same.
they go digital to, like, another service, through that service to the bank, and then, like, you could take it out of the ATM.
And then I can take that to a bank and get an equivalent amount of gold to back my dollar papers, right? That's how that works?
That is, no, that's incorrect, yeah.
Oh, so it means nothing. Because money is a shared hallucination that we've just all agreed on. Got it.
That is exactly
Well,
what
thank you guys so much for giving us a piece of your shared hallucination that is money. It's just paper. It has no meaning. Thanks so much for giving us that.
You know what?
I'll
shared
take it.
hallucination. How many shared hallucinations does it cost? $5, $10? I'm for it.
I'll take them.
I'm going to ask the next time I'm about to pay for something. How many shared hallucinations is that?
You're like, oh, dollars, money.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
And then I'll put my monocle up and go.
How quaint.
You didn't get it.
I expected as much. And then the cashier will be
the
like,
lot of the proletariat.
and then the cashier will be like, go warn them.
Go warn them.
Well, thanks to you wonderful, fantastic patrons who support us with your hallucinatory dollars. We're going to be talking about Cabin in the Woods next time.
Dude, so excited for that.
Yes.
I don't know how we
excited.
haven't covered it up to this
I don't
point.
either, because it's one of my goddamn fucking favorites, and I watch it every Halloween season.
Man, I'm excited. So,
Me too.
Thanks to you guys for submitting all of your awesome titles.
Yeah.
We're going to get to all of them eventually, I imagine.
Uh-huh.
Every single horror movie.
All of them. We're going to do all the movies. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to talking about this one because it is definitely one of my favorites. Thank you guys so much for submitting so many great movies for us to randomly draw from and land on. You guys have been really just batting 1,000 lately, man.
Yeah,
all the
of great
Patreon
stuff.
picks have been fantastic.
They really have. I mean, we did like 4 in 1 month, and those all got like tons of listens. People were super excited. I mean, because it was
movies.
Alien, They Live, like great stuff.
Some A-list shit.
Uh-huh.
So you guys be sure to tune in next time. We'll be talking about that flick. I'm very excited about it. I will hopefully be like less deliriously exhausted than I have been the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody will have bought my house by then, and I'll be living in a mansion in the hills.
Oh, is that where you're going?
Yeah, up in the hills.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to build it into the hill like a little hobbit house.
Are you going to move to Beverly Hills, that is?
That's where I want to be.
Swimming pools?
Movie stars. Black gold. Texas tea.
That was a theme song.
It was.
Back in the day.
Hell of a theme.
Just say words.
Just talk stuff, I guess. That's fine. Well, you guys have been fantastic. We have been dead and lovely and extremely exhausted. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.